fight, 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 fight.
Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I almost apologize for the lateness, but I actually don't. Not at all. Where'd that go? There we go. I almost apologize, but I don't because, well, that's why. That is why. Okay, guys, we've got some stuff going on in the world. We definitely more than almost have some stuff going on in the world, but more importantly, we have things happening here related to things that we know about and discuss, and that is Jack Murphy is back, baby. He is back. He is ready to spearhead the liminal order right into various orifices of society. He is ready for it. 69 for 69, motherfuckers. He is here to stay, and he is ready to accept his past. I hope you are ready to accept his past as well, because he definitely owns up to everything, which is what he promised to do, and he delivers on that promise. We're going to talk about it. There's a 7-page letter. I noticed everybody else has streamed this already because nobody called me to ask when I would do it. I'm just kidding. But people are interested. Jack is making waves, and I don't just mean in the ass cheeks of young college boys. He's making waves in society. He's had the best training, literally the best training on earth. He's learned so much from the best teachers, truly tremendous teachers. And despite having done that, he didn't, the education all happened earlier, but now he's got it. He was kind of just falling off of him before, but it's stuck now. And so now he knows, and now he's ready. He wasn't ready before. It was a big mistake. It was a big mistake before, but now it's good. So that's what we've got. We're going to go through Jack's letter. And then I've got another letter for you. Law and Order has responded to my content, well, not my copyright counter notification. They have responded. And I'm going to leave you in suspense as to what it says. But they have responded. And the path forward is clear. So, did I say Law and Order? Law and Crime. But right before we get started on all that, let's just talk about the past weekend. You know, it's all your fault. It's all y'all's fault. People keep saying Law and Order all the time in all these comments, and I see it. I think I'm going to be generous and say it's autocorrect, which is what just happened to me. I typed in my script for my AI bot. I'm actually sitting naked on a couch in Detroit, typing into an AI bot that is actually just, sorry, cats on the keyboard, that is actually just saying whatever I say due to a very complex algorithm that pulls images of my face from old shows, maps it onto a new, constantly updated 3D rendered face. So that's happening. That's happening. Don't question me about Detroit. You don't know until you've tried. The other thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to taste the black Nikka. That's right. You heard me right. We're going to have a taste of the black Nikka. The Black Nikka Special Japanese whiskey. It's happening. It is happening. This was a gift to me at LA Road Rage. We're going to taste it. It's going to be Japanese. Look at the memeified label of this. That's the real label. Here, I'll bring it up closer. Yeah, it's like a Chad-faced mosaic sipping a whiskey. Look at how great that is. Oh. So I don't know what anything about it. It's all again, well, I guess I should have done this first. It's all in moon runes. I don't know anything about it at all. But we're going to give it a shot. I don't see an alcohol percentage on it or anything. So this is from some guys. This is from Eric Wong, Matty P on the road, Rich. I think that's everybody who contributed to this. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I hope you guys are watching. I told them I was going to drink it tonight. They said, please let us know. I wanted to try it down there, but I also didn't want to fly back with an open bottle of whiskey. Kind of a mess. Someone else, and I apologize if I don't remember who. I'm so bad with names. But someone else gave me this Fall Gin. This is a barrel reserve Old Tom style gin, which I really prefer the Old Tom gins. But it is aged in whiskey barrels. So that's cool. This is from Michigan. This, just so you know, like this whiskey was also one of the feds involved in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. So, you know, I mean, we'll drink it, but we won't be able to like it. Everybody, there are 4 guys being charged with like the 38-person plot to kidnap Whitmer because 4 of them were dudes and the other 34 of them were feds convincing the dudes to do it. It's going to be a great case. Unfortunately, I believe it's all federal. And so we won't be able to watch it, but I'll try and follow along with what's happening. Oh, Matty P there. He says also Kevin Flint. He couldn't make it to the show. Ah, dang it. Well, thank you to Kevin Flint as well. But yeah, that's going to be a wonderful entrapment defense case. I wish we could just watch it. Should be great, but we can't. But I'll try and follow along and provide some updates. There's some other big goings on right now. And yes, I'm going to get to all the substance in just a second, but it's just so much going on. I think Boogie had a court hearing today or something. He posted a video about it. I don't know what's in it. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check out what Boogie said. I should have a video up tomorrow. I was going to do a video about Boogie anyway, because it kind of looks like Boogie is selling shirts that Frank Hassel would own the rights to as the original photographer. Frank was the photographer of the famous Boogie event that involved Frank and Boogie, and then Boogie took a still from Frank's video, just slapped it on a shirt. I mean, he cropped it a little bit and stuff like that, but we're going to talk about it. Some people think you own the copyright to your own image. You don't most of the time, because there is a potential argument if you did some serious artistic work on your own image. Like, think of someone like a Lady Gaga or something, but really you'd probably be owning the copyright in the outfit or whatever. But I guess that's a theoretic possibility, but typically you don't own your own. You don't own your own image by default because you didn't do anything to it. Like you being born, spit out into the world like a larval maggot doesn't make you the owner of shit. God did that, not you, bigot, atheist, going to hell. So that's there. Juicy Smollett is coming up on Thursday for sentencing. Juicy will be sentenced on Thursday. I'm pretty sure that stream is going to be hosted on Nate the Lawyer's channel. Trying to confirm what time that hearing is, but I believe many of the law tubies will be over there. Bill Cosby, the state appealed the Bill Cosby, the overturn of the conviction of Bill Cosby all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, nah, he's good. He can go. So Bill Cosby's done. Like the state has lost officially. Cosby's a free man, and him going to prison was wrong, according to the Supreme Court. It's settled. It's settled. The science is settled. We've reached consensus. What else is going on? Oh my gosh. I mean, so much. So much is happening. One of my videos is going to end up in a law textbook. That's kind of fun. But that's a side thing. And then there was one more big thing. What was it? Damn. I'll think of it. I'll think of it as we go. So anyway, doesn't matter. Sitch and Adam debate. Sitch and Adam. This is not part of it, but many of you may have seen the ready to reply. Or the right to reply, ready to get pegged, right to reply guy on Twitter, spurging out, having a field day, crying at every single lawyer on the law tubes. I'm not going to call it law tube anymore. I'm going to call it the law tubes. Need to do, if it, someone was like, how did you miss this? It should be litigators. Right? Like we should have the regulator song remixed, Warren G and Nate Dogg for litigators. What are you doing in here? What do you want?
I just forgot to give you the good night thing.
Oh, good night.
Good night.
Good night. I love you. Go to sleep. What?
It's really dark and I don't want us to like step on something when we wake up. Is there any like lights we could have?
Yeah, any of them that are in the, like, do the closet light or whatever. In your room and the one in the hallway.
Cushion.
Have them close their door more.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, it's only 11:20. It's fine. The random right to reply guy who's going nuts at every lawyer. Like, despite several subject matter experts, all with different opinions on all sorts of stuff, all telling him, yeah, well, this is kind of how it works. He's like, no. Now you must debate me. I can tell you what you will not see. You'll whoa. Oh my gosh. What you will not see. What you will not see is a debate between me and this rando. This weird guy. If you're wondering why I responded at all, I'll tell you. Because, one, I was bored at the airport, waiting for a plane. Two, I wanted to show him that there is no right to reply. He doesn't have it, and he won't get it. Because three, most importantly, I'm an insufferable asshole. So that's why it was done. That's why it was done. He could scream into the Twitterverse all he wants, and that's how it goes. He won't get the time of day. No, Joseph has a new hat refresher window. That's on you, buddy. It's your fault. That being said, let's start these super chats, and then we will read Jack's letter, and then we will do and I'll drink some black Nikka special. Just a minute. There's a very important super chat from Flash, Yellow Flash 2. Says, seen any new game shows lately? I haven't watched it, but I got a screen grab from it. Do you guys want to see this? Can you guys believe what has happened? The gods of comedy are so, they give us so much. So much is given to us. What do we do? What do we even do for them? What do we do to deserve this? Nothing. Nothing at all. They let it on a game show. On the Game Show Network, they let it on. Oh, no. It's getting wider. It's getting wider. No. The years have been less than kind. That is Arms Girl, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. There she is. Is she even 30 yet, Flash? I don't remember. Just not good. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't think the arms are shorter. I think the rest of the body is catching up. Yeah, that's Mars Girl. Mars Girl, Arms Girl. She's 36. Oh, okay. I guess she did pass 30. What a beta move, getting past 30. True alphas go out well before that. That being said, she may have been on the Game Show Network, may have been on a game show, and it may be out there. So I have no idea. I might be reviewing it at some point in the very near future, but I gotta actually review it. Okay. All right. So thank you, Yellow Flash. You are doing. See, the gods of comedy. They're too good to us. This exists. It's real. Oh shit. I need to get a different window. So part of the reason I was late, this is not an excuse, it's just the truth. You don't need my excuses. Part of the reason I was late is because all of my windows had to be closed because StreamYard was being stupid. Just wasn't taking the audio or video input, so I had to close everything down. So I didn't have my Odyssey chat back up yet. There we go. Okay. I think I'm set now. Oh my goodness. And after the show tonight, there will be some Vidya gaming, and I think may do a movie, may not. I'm really enjoying Elden Ring. I might just play more Elden Ring. We'll see. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this Jack Murphy thing after the super chats. You gotta have the super chats. So I was in LA for the Dick Show live this past weekend. That's where I was Thursday through Saturday. That's why you didn't see any Thursday or Friday night shows. That's why I wasn't on Flashcast on Saturday. I was out with people. I brought stuff to stream and I had literally no time. We were going the entire time, going or sleeping. I recorded 3 shows out at the Dick Show compound. Recorded The Biggest Problem in the Universe, with Dick and Vito, as much as it pains me to say, recorded a dictation of Starship Troopers. Think riff tracks, but with people who don't hate you running the show. That will be, as soon as I get the file from Dick, that will go up on Locals for the Locals subscribers. That'll be there. And then the Dick Show Live, Road Rage LA 2 was there, and I will be uploading the video of an audio, which is probably garbage, because holy shit, the sound system was a disaster. I'm sure it was trash, but that's okay. We'll upload it anyway. That'll also be on Locals, so you can look out for those things. You can see those. You do not have to sign up for the Dick Show Patreon to see those, just those 2 episodes, obviously. But if you like them, you should consider the Dick Show Patreon, of course, if that's your style of comedy. It's not everybody's, but if it's yours. And did the Dick Show on Sunday right before going to the airport and coming back home. So there you go. There was all of that happened. Tony from Hack the Movies was there. A bunch of the dickheads were there. It was a good time. Really was. Riley was there. Everybody hates Riley, so that's good. A lot of people that everybody hate were all there, which is the best place to be. The best place to be is with those whom everybody hates. Shut up, I Can Cook says Funimation, Fumination, dear God, no more testing. Okay. Rick Niketa says, I will go between the stars and spill blood and take skulls, and I will leave the Emperor exactly what he left for me. Nothing but a graveyard, an endless field of bones stabbing out from salted earth. Very nice. Very nice. The Dragon's Treasure says, it's the T-Man's birthday this Tuesday. As such, I demand the gift of more work. Buy some tea and help me escape Illinois. Dark Cookies says, Sashosiki is free. Lol. What the hell is Sashosky? Did I go to the beach? No time. Like, the only thing that I did that wasn't part of the Road Rage event or the Dick Show stuff, and it still was we went to brunch with some of the dickheads. Lady Rackets and I did. That's it. It's the only free time thing. Everything else was show related. Did I have trouble getting into places in LA considering your non-vax status? No, because here's the cool thing. As far as I know, it's not illegal to lie to a bar. Or a restaurant. They weren't government-owned bars or restaurants, and I did not use any official government documents. So, nope, no trouble at all. It was very easy, actually. Let's see. Tina says, Nick, you keep saying you are a journalist, but after watching you play Elden Ring, I realized that you're actually a games journalist. That's true. That is true. Yeah, I'm really fucking terrible at it. So thank you. Thank you for reminding me, actually. Now that I have trauma from that. Matt K, I don't care what anybody says. Futurama was awesome. Dick is a moron. Vito is a fat moron. Any Futurama compilation on YouTube will prove me right. That's Matt Star K. You know, you can have Futurama. I've seen some funny bits from it, but I've never watched it or been into it. What specs are my PC? Well, right now what's in there is a 3850, 3950X, an AMD 3950X, along with a 6900 XT Radeon graphics card, 64 gig of RAM, some M.2 hard drives. That's about, that's the important stuff. Then I have a bunch of shit for streaming shoved in there. All right. Mexican Flash says, Nick, I could not go to meet you in LA as I dislike driving during the night and like driving in LA less. Hopefully inflation does not get too high so I can go to Anime Matsuri, but I doubt it. Well, it's okay because look, Booty Judge has spoken. You don't need to buy gas. Just buy an electric car, you poor. If you buy an electric car, you don't have to worry about gas. Duh, idiot. Have you thought about that? Have you even thought about that? Stephen Cooper. Stephen Cooper says, you are an expired Fig Newton, and I mean that heartfelt. Love the channel, man. Squizgar, Nick, you had us going with all your on-time antics. I almost thought maybe you weren't gay. Good to see you're back to form. Back to form, I think he means late and gay. Well, I'm also back to firm. Reek says, Nick, it was good seeing you again in LA. Looking forward to the review of the whiskey. It's going to happen in just a minute. Gen X Medic, Nick is very breaded tonight. Very breaded indeed, like he's an Italian/Asian. Disgusting. Jonathan Duger, other than the fact that you're late and curved, I sent an email detailing a situation with my stepdaughter's school. I'm hoping you can respond to it soon. Ginger Ninja. Whoa, this is a 3-parter. I could use a toast this evening. Uh-oh. Here we go. We're gonna have a toast of Nikka whiskey. We're gonna see how this black Nikka fares for a toast. It's a very light colored whiskey. Okay. All right. Light colored whiskeys and dark colored whiskeys don't usually mean anything anymore because a lot of them they'll actually darken the whiskey. It used to mean something about the barrels they're aged in. Now you can't trust it. Some of them add some caramel color. Okay. This is a 3-parter, so I'm going to read it all as one. This is from Ginger Ninja. 2 years ago, March 3rd, our city was hit by an EF4 tornado. My wife and I survived, but our house is gone. Our neighborhood was demolished. That night, my wife and I were able to get 15 people out to the ambulances that couldn't get in because of road blockages. 14 of the 15 survived. One precious 4-year-old girl passed while with me as I tried to get her out to the paramedics. She was one of 9 children who were taken by the storm, along with 15 adults. I don't share this with people because the stories aren't mine to tell, but it hasn't been easy this past week. Thanks, Rackets. Cheers. To a person, to you, Ginger Ninja, and your wife, who amid destruction and mayhem stepped up to help your neighbors. And though one was lost tragically, hopefully 14 were saved that night. Cheers, man. That's got to be a rough anniversary. Dang. Very heavy stuff, man. Okay, I'll save the review on the whiskey for after this host, followed by a review is kind of weird. Cynic and Chief says, how do you stop false copyright claims? Liam Gray keeps taking down John De La Rosa's Indiegogo comic, and then Indiegogo puts it back up only to take it down again after Liam does another bogus complaint. Then they put it back up. Well, either Indiegogo needs to put a stop to it or they would have to sue him. Abuse of DMCA, but it's a tough claim to prove. It's a tough one, but that you could sue for injunctive relief on it for these malicious and bad faith copyright claims. Is Liam Australian though? I mean, I know Liam is like Ralph's height. He's this weird little oddly shaped leprechaun of a man. I thought he was Australian. See, Goody says, Lawtus, litigators, flock of legals, just for the love of God, stop with the law tube. Why'd you say it then? Why'd you say it? William Smith says, random question for you, Rackets. Have you seen Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid spinoff on Netflix? Yes. Yes. I don't know if I've watched all of the most recent season. It's my life's mission to make sure the world knows that it's the greatest show ever made. Sopranos, Game of Thrones, trash in comparison. I like Cobra Kai quite a bit. Having a good time with it. Siren Jag says 30 metric tons. She's big, dude. She's fucking big. Oh my God! No! 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 Sorry. Billy Witch Doctor 99 says use a controller. It will 100% fix the camera issues. Nope. Nope, not at all. Shinchan 256B says the addition of you to the biggest problem and the Dick Show was legendary. Great laughs, good chemistry. Any info on the Pippa interview? That vulgar pink rabbit is hilarious. Waterworld is the best Costner movie. I just need to talk to Pippa's management and set up the stream. I haven't because I was, doing the Dick Show. I'll be scheduling some interviews in the very near future. Hopefully with some new faces to the show. I would love to get, oh shit. I'd love to get Earl Grey back on. Love to have Paul Eng on to talk about Kim Potter and maybe some of the things. I don't have a line to Paul yet. I just need to probably reach out. There's some other people, but yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Also, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard is coming up, and trying to figure out exactly how coverage of that trial is going to go. I would love to cover it. It'll probably be 6 weeks of trial, which is going to be rough. I know other people want to cover it as well, trying to diplomatically work out everything. So a bunch of people have said that that's a trial that they want to watch. They've said that here, kind of like maybe want to do it, but we'll see. We'll see. We've already talked about Manson suing Evan Rachel Wood. We did that complaint on Wednesday, I think. So we'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out. William Smith says, I would like to request a toast for my dead family member. However, you get to make up who they were, how they died, and which one of your silly voices to give it in. Cheers. Well, we'll do the lighthearted toasting of a green bonered frog. We're going to give a toast here to William Smith's great auntie, Arms Girl. Arms Girl was approaching critical mass, and actually what happened was she got so big and so massive that she collapsed in on herself and is actually a dense neutron star, but has projected a corona from the nova that happened, and it's in the shape of an even fatter girl now. Rip. I don't know. I hope that helped. I hope that's what you were looking for. Steve C says, catch up on Yellowstone yet and prep for meeting up with Costner? No, I haven't had any time to do that. Okay. There we go. Let's get this Jack Murphy email up. Oh, there is a Rumble rant from Spatula. Says U.S. versus Paige Thompson. The Capital One hacker starts next Monday. U.S. means federal, which means not televised. Unfortunately. Yeah, there's another the Whitmer case starts tomorrow for jury selection, but it won't be televised because it's fucking federal. What a joke. What a joke. Friends call me Murphy. You can call me Robocuck. Wait. I feel like I have a PDF of this. Okay, I know I have a... Damn it. I got to go back and find it. Here we go. Is this it? Here it is. Hold on. I have a couple people who sent this to me, and one of them... Shit. Oh my gosh. Why is my... For whatever reason now, my Adobe PDF viewers loading up giant. No matter what screen it loads in on, it's loading up fucking huge. Okay, so we had to get the redacted one. The redacted one. This is from Jack Murphy Live. This is the Liminal Order. Again, I have this from multiple sources. This is it. This is it. Are you guys ready? Let me... Here we go. Go away. Yeah, Julius Newman. I've read about white holes. And I don't mean bleached assholes. I mean the astrophysics phenomenon known as a white hole. Here we go. I'm going to drink this black Nikka. It's a very Japanese whiskey in that it's a very light feel in the mouth. It is not heavy. It's pretty smooth. It's got a little bit of a bite. I don't think this is aged as long as some of the others. I had an 18-year Yamazaki down in LA that was delicious. But this is good. I like it. It's got a little bit of the sourness to it, which is not what I normally expect from Japanese whiskey. But again, they excel at smooth, light whiskeys. It is not, if this was your first whiskey, you'd be okay. And it's good. That's not a slight to it. I mean, it's a good whiskey that someone could try and not like be dying from it. So it's good. Good stuff, man. Thank you guys. All right, here we go. All right, this is the Liminal Order. I am a seeker. I have always been looking for the truth, and I've always done my best to move toward the truth in as authentic a way as I know how. My life has been a study in moving from darkness to light. I wrote about this in my book, Democrat to Deplorable. That transition wasn't purely political, but also mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual. Please remember that I was a Democrat and I'm now a deplorable. Please remember that. You have to remember it's my brand. It's very important. Very important to my brand that you know that I was a Democrat and now I'm one of you. As I went from Democrat to deplorable, #branding, I also went from the manosphere to the Americosphere. Oh, yeah, here you go. He was totally in the manosphere before. Before he wrote his book, Democrat to Deplorable, he was in the manosphere. Back when he wasn't in any sphere. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Jack Murphy started with the Democrat to Deplorable story. That's where his social media presence blossomed. I was in the man. I was telling men how to live then, but not anymore. Now I'm telling Americans how to America. From hedonism to service to others. From libertarian values. Wait, what? Libertarian values? Fuck off, bitch. It's not, you were not a libertarian. Just because you were hedonistic, libertarians are not hedonistic. That's not a libertarian value. Hedonism is not libertarianism. Libertarianism is ignoring someone else's hedonism, not your own. Your own is your responsibility, you dumb piece of shit. It's just fucking, it's buzzwords. Look, I'm a based and red-pilled conservative like you guys. Hello, fellow Trump supporters. From subjective secularism to objective truth. People told me the pursuit of happiness meant doing whatever you wanted. And I was too weak-willed to understand that that wasn't right. Objective truths were hidden from me growing up in a Democratic family. Stop it. Stop it. This is already embarrassing. You're gonna blame me. Gotta blame my upbringing. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Growing up liberal, growing up in a progressive environment, freedom meant you could thumb your nose at anyone trying to warn you to stop doing something that might harm you. It was pursuing your happiness, doing your own thing. And boy, did I like to pursue that penis. Happiness, I mean. No matter what that thing was, especially if it was a penis. It took me decades of being a proactive, engaged adult learner to figure out that that wasn't the case. I learned that our country was built upon people who didn't believe that you should do your own thing no matter what it was. I learned that the founding fathers encouraged us to act in harmony with the virtues and excellence of Aristotle and the morals of religion, specifically Christianity. Well, except for Thomas Paine. I mean, except for him, though. Well, and Thomas Jefferson and, like Franklin and like a little bit of Washington and, maybe like Hamilton. This guy. What are you talking about? Just throwing darts at conservative buzzwords. Please hit one. Please hit one. Please hit one. Oh, God, this is so fucking embarrassing. I've always been on a trajectory of trying to figure out the truth. No, you didn't. You said you were a liberal who thumbed his nose at everybody, so you literally weren't. You've just discounted your own point. It has taken me a long time, and I have made bad decisions along the way. This is why when I sit on a bar stool, I hit the floor. 3 years ago, I did some things I am no longer proud of. And this is where we're going to get to the most. This is the most of an admission you're going to actually get. Like, what things? What are things that you're not proud of? Like, I bought a Ford Fusion Hybrid. And it's been a decent car, but I'm not proud of the purchase. Not proud of it. It's one of my weaker moments. What the hell? Things which disgust me today. The catch was they were acceptable in the context of my belief system at the time. No, they weren't. They were never acceptable. That's the trick. That's the rub, Jack. It was never acceptable. You just did it. This is the shit. This is why people can't trust you. You're just equivocating. It was not acceptable at the time. You just didn't care that it wasn't acceptable. It's my beliefs. It's my raising. It's my this. It's my that. No, stop it. I used to believe that consent between and among all parties involved was enough. Sure. There you go. Consent between and among all parties was enough. Oh, does that explain the little girl's comment, Jack? Is pedophilia okay if there's consent between all parties? Like, is that the premise here? Because, like, I mean, I think, like, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt on that statement, but, like, the situation is, you can never say consent is just enough. If your buddy consents for you to bludgeon him to death with a hammer, that doesn't make it okay that you do it. This is humanism, a belief system that says humans are born innately good. So whatever we desire must be perfectly acceptable. Is that what they did? Is that what your Democrat family did, Jack? Again, just think of the concept of this guy, right? Think of the concept of this. He wants us to believe that his family and environment told him literally whatever he wanted was fine. Think of the most liberal people you know. Is racism okay as long as everyone consents? In a liberal house? No, of course not. Not in liberalism. Certainly not. Actually, that's the place where definitely not. Like our LGBTQ plus jokes, okay, in liberal circles, so long as the gays are in on it? No, they're not. Because they can't be in on it because of oppression, preventing their ability to actively consent. So we're supposed to believe that his super liberal, ultra Democrat parents just raised him to believe that everything was fine, no matter what. They never did anything. This is another lie, of course. All desires are equally valid and moral. That means if you enter into a consensual relationship or a consensual engagement with somebody, then that's enough, and it contains all the justification there is for your behavior. Now, I recognize that consent is still required, but it's not enough. Consent is not enough to mediate society. No, actually, consent is enough to mediate. Fundamental misunderstandings of societal interactions between free people. Because people can consent to terrible things, that does not make these things acceptable. Correct? It doesn't. I thought that as long as I did what I wanted without causing direct damage to others, that it was okay. But you were causing direct damage to others. It was my life after all, but I learned consent cannot make bad into a good all by itself. Jack, buddy. That wasn't consensual, what you were doing. You were dragging this lady along who entrusted her life into you, and you should have been entrusting some into her. And then you betrayed that trust. Like it was your job to stop the fuck shit. That was your job. That's what you agreed to do as a partner in a relationship. And they do the same thing. Like when you have 9 beers and want to jump off a roof into the pool, but the pool's like 26 feet away from the roof. They're like, you know what? Maybe don't. Maybe don't do that. And if you yell at them and hit them or whatever, then that's you being a piece of shit. But if you listen to them, that's because they're looking out for you. Men look out for women and women look out for men when they're in a relationship. It's consent plus trust. You betrayed it because you just ignored that trust existed. Because you're a fucking weirdo who doesn't understand relationships at all while you talk about them. All right, here we go. Let's see. It was my life after all, but I learned consent cannot make bad into good all by itself. After that realization, I began to explore what else needs to come along with that consent. If consent is not sufficient to determine good and bad, if consent is not the totality, then what is? What about the common good? What does the action you're consenting to mean for everyone else involved in other ways? Like your parents and your children. This is not the common good. What is this? The common good is not to be enforced through law. Wait. You've had months to do this, Jack. What does this typo even mean? But perhaps through social mediation, through cultural mediation, or the law of fashion and opinion, we should do what is good so that our world is good for others. He's still missing the point, by the way. The common good is not a thing. And yes, rugged individual, like again, he's talking about the founding fathers and what they believed. No, they believed that rugged individualism with morality would be good for yourself which would make good for everyone around you. But the morality wasn't for policing of others or creating a good for them. It was for you. Virtue in yourself would lead to good outcomes for everyone around. It's because it's based on Adam Smith. Wealth of nations plus moral sentiments. You need the other part of it. You need morality. What have we given you? A republic, if you can keep it. Our system of government was made for a moral people. Without morality, the people will be lost and the system of government will break down. These are all quotes from people either that founded the nation or that inspired the founding of the nation. I thought you were reading this stuff, Jack. Here we go. In the last few years, I've been offered the... Here we go. Here it is. In the last few years, I've been offered the amazing opportunity of one-on-one education with some of the greatest scholars and spiritualists and political philosophers in the world. Name them. Name literally any of them. Who? Who is it? Who are the greatest scholars and spiritualists and political philosophers in the world today? Who are they? Name one person who falls into that category. But listen, I've had very good connections, which has given me special access to education that no one else had. That's why it took me being exposed as a giant beta cuck for this to all come apart. Like, who are you talking about? And how didn't you learn until you were made fun of relentlessly for having your fiance's tongue in your anus on film for everyone to see, while talking about that sweet, sweet ass of those college boys? Like, why didn't you learn from the greatest philosophical spiritualist scholars of today over the past few years? You didn't learn anything until someone saw your tonsils through your asshole on a YouTube show. My connections over the last 3 years led me through a cycle of awakening. With that came a rejection of humanistic relative morality and an embrace of objective good. I've had an amazingly accelerated, dedicated, professionally tutored educational process that has brought me from that one position 3 years ago of consent is all to a new position today where I reject some of the things I used to embrace. Did you? Can you explain the pedagogy behind your educational path? What was the curriculum? What was your rigorous study regimen for it? How is it directed by these people? Did they consult with each other while directing this very directed education that is literally just you saying you talk to some people and you think that those people have the right idea? Like, because that's what happened. You talk to some people who have some level of social clout. I don't know, maybe Tim Pool or Rogan or Dave Rubin or Jordan Peterson. I don't know who you're talking to, but someone like that, you're like, oh, this person has some level of social clout. Therefore, they're smart. Therefore, I'm now getting an education from them. Who directed it? You're talking about a directed education. You're a fucking liar, Jack. What was the curriculum? Who developed it? What was the collaboration between your various tutors? How are they tutoring you? What did these tutoring sessions look like? How often were they? Was there a reading list? Did they generate it or did you? Did they test you for understanding of the reading list? This is how pedagogy works. I know you know a different peta word, but pedagogy is about the process of education and the theory crafting behind it and figuring out how to effectively deliver it. You're acting like that happened because you talked to some people on some interviews on a podcast. What have I found in this new way of thinking? There is virtue, specifically. Those virtues contained within our definition of masculinity: to build, to create, to provide, to protect, to instruct. None of which you were doing when all this was happening. Men acting upon the world with the intent to make it better for all people No man is a man who gathers power to himself solely to revel in his own power. No, you have to do it in a way that's virtuous and reflects the Aristotelian excellences. And that's why the second part of our version of masculinity is also to act with honor, courage, loyalty, and strength in every context, including sexually. Originally, masculinity, according to Aristotle, was about being a good man to be part of the good polis that you create together, which is something that I've talked about before. I've been doing good work. You'll find that. I've been doing good work. Then came Machiavelli, who said it was actually just about glory. Well, that's insufficient. And then Hobbes and Locke, who said masculinity is about survival and property. Well, that's insufficient as well. And then you get to modern life, where identity is the only truth and masculinity is an angry rejection of postmodernity. No, masculinity is not just about tearing down the world because you can, just because you want to exert your will. Who thinks that it is? Masculinity is actually a little bit of all those things combined into one. It's just everything. That's what I learned. It's not one thing, it's everything. Being a good man to build and maintain the good polis for your people, achieving glory through moral means, survival and protection of property in the face of tyranny, anger at modern life and its threats to our family, and tearing down what is evil for the sake of rebuilding the good polis. Masculinity is all of these. That's my current definition and working usage of the idea of masculinity. All this learning led me to found the Liminal Order. Wait, when was the Liminal Order founded? Hold on. Let's see. When was this founded? Does anybody... 2019? 2019 was when the Liminal Order was founded. Okay. There you go. Not because I was a perfect man ready to teach others to be perfect men. I was still deeply flawed. I carried shame and scars from my days when I believed in liberalism. You've seen some of my worst moments on the internet in the last couple of months. Are they your worst moments, Jack?
I doubt it.
Wait.
I doubt it.
Are they your worst moments, Jack?
I doubt it.
They're just the worst moments we've seen. There's no way they're the worst. There's no way. When they were still secrets, they drove me to pursue virtue in order to distance myself from the past version of me I hated so much. Oh, did you hate it? You hated it now? Sure you did. Sure you did. I wanted to teach other men to avoid the traps of hedonism I'd fallen into. How? How did you teach them to avoid it? By ignoring your past. Was it your past? When did it become your past? I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. I think that's the big problem for Jack, personally. I don't know this. This is my theory. My theory is that the big problem for Jack is that he still believes the hedonism. I don't think he's actually personally changed at all. But that's me. I think that's why he had such a trouble with the whole thing. Why he didn't want to talk about it. Why he just ignore. And when it happened, he's really hesitant to just say, yeah, that was a bad time. I was wrong then. It took him 3 months to say he was wrong. Some have said that me running the Liminal Order is the height of hypocrisy. They mistakenly believe that I continued to do these actions up to the very day my sins came to light. Really? Is it a mistake, though? Look. Hashtag no simp. Okay? Hashtag no simp. But the way you treated Sydney Watson and the way you explained the treatment of Sydney Watson belies all of this. Look, I set a boundary and she crossed it. I'm sorry. Like, one, you didn't really set a boundary. You just said, I'm not going to talk about that, which is fine. You never had to talk about anything. That doesn't preclude her from reading the next super chat. Two, you're on their show, so you don't have a right to set that boundary unless you set it up as a condition for your appearance in advance, which you did not. And three, you sound like an absolute beta when you say stuff like, she set a boundary, or I set a boundary and she violated it. What are you talking about? What language of masculinity is, I set a boundary and the dumb woman didn't listen? Is that the new enlightened version of masculinity that you caused you to found the liminal order? Is that how you treat women or men? Again, hashtag no simp. It doesn't matter that Sydney Watson's a female in this, other than, I mean, I think that men should be virtuous and maybe to a slightly higher degree with women than with men for various reasons. One, you'll always act differently around the boys than you will around a woman. One, you're typically not trying to bang the boys. Or two, if you're married, you're definitely going to act different around the woman than you would, a woman who's not your wife, than some other, than the boys as well, right? There's different dynamics of the relationships going on. So again, where in your learning did this not occur to you? But even so, like, that's my personal opinion, but even so, you should not treat a man the way that you treated Sydney Watson either, especially on his turf, on his home. Very weird. All right, here we go. They wonder how I could teach men to be men when I've done things I have done. And they question rightly why I did not reveal myself to others and own my mistakes as I teach men to do. This is why we know, Jack. We know that sweet, sweet $100 a month, $4,000 lifetime membership. It's very, very tempting, isn't it? Very worried about what would happen if they saw my butthole online. My biggest mistake was not coming clean about my past. You tried to scrub it all, Jack. It's not just that you didn't come clean. It's that you actively tried to suppress and censor it. You just failed. You didn't know someone found it. I should have, so that it did not control me or threaten the work I do to help others. This is one of his phrases, the work. The work I do, the work, the work, the work. What work? What work are you doing to help others? What is it? I don't even know. I mean, maybe he is doing something, but I don't know what work he's doing to help others. Because when my past was revealed, see, this is the other problem. This is the other problem. If you are at all knowledgeable about Ayn Rand and objectivism, right? You can see her opinion on altruism. And Jack is talking about several virtues that Rand would probably agree with. But one of them that Rand would be very critical of is that Jack is doing the work to help others. To help others. Not that objectivism is correct, by the way. Objectivism has all sorts of issues with it. But all of these philosophies are instructive, right? They all have instructive points that you can glean out of them, even if you don't wholeheartedly dive into the philosophy. But objectivism calls out the altruist as disingenuous and dishonest. Everything about Jack here is, I did all this for everyone else. While I was broke, I wrote a book, I did a book tour, I was licking an asshole for $3.50 or whatever at a time, because we couldn't pay bills, even though I'd been paid over $1 million by this school system. And I was just about to found the Liminal Order and make a shitload of money. But it was all the work for other people. That's what it was for. No, make the Liminal Order for you. That's masculinity. Make it for you, because then people will go, How do I get to you? And then you can instruct them, guide them. They can follow a model or a path or whatever, but help them get to how they help them. So you make it for you. Stop pretending this is for someone else. You're not building this order for someone else. You built it for you, and that's fine. But you're a liar, and that's the problem. You're still lying. Because when my path was revealed, people believed I still did those things. And that made me angry. This is not what made you angry. That it was revealed and threatened your business made you angry. Just be honest. My anger at their being revealed was really anger at myself for having ever believed as I did. No, it wasn't. This is dishonest too. I'm so mad at me for thinking that way is not how you process learning and growth. When you learn a new way, you can't beat yourself up about having not learned sooner. Like if you're actually growing and maturing because you hadn't had the opportunity to grow and mature. You can't be mad about how you acted as like a 16-year-old because you were retarded. You were a 16-year-old. It's not your fault. Unless you knew and chose to act otherwise, then you can be mad at yourself. But if you literally didn't know, you can't be mad that you believed something else if you genuinely believed it. But did you genuinely believe it then? Or do you still not genuinely believe the new thing now? And I still think it's that second one. I was ashamed. But in the moment, my anger turned outward at the people who revealed my sins when I felt I wasn't ready. I was wounded and wanted the pain to stop. People have called me many things: hypocrite, grifter, FBI plant, Mossad asset. You're not supposed to tell jokes in this, Jack. Aspiring leader. They've invented fanciful stories about my escapades. Some have used this as an excuse to tear down the work I've done helping men. I've done the work. I'm helping others. Stop this. Stop. Notice the theme? The work, the work, the work, the work. He said this in DMs to me. That's right away when I was like, nope, I got it. You wanted me on your show because of all the good work I'm doing. I'm like, I never said that. What the hell is that? That's a brand. This is a brand. Some of you may be kind of new to the Jack Murphy situation. If you missed some of the stuff that I've talked about as this unfolded, this is the brand. The work for other men is the brand of the liminal order that Jack is putting out. And it's so rooted into him that he can't escape it. So when his DMs to me came up right away, it was like, you know, the good work I'm doing. When I had no idea who Jack Murphy was outside of one like 3-minute exchange between him and Tim Pool that I saw on Twitter. And I thought he had some interesting takes that I still kind of agree with about the difficulties of practically exercising your beliefs in regards to rights and things like vaccines when you have the practical aspect of having children. Because when you have children, it's not just you anymore. You have some compromises that, your political beliefs could lead to severe consequences for your children. And you have to decide whether your political beliefs on this particular issue are worth that or not. That's all I knew about Jack, was that he might have insight into that question. Other than that, I'm not familiar with the work. Never even heard of the liminal order until this stuff came out. So anyway, but this is the reason I bring this up, is because the work helping men is the brand. These 4 words. The work help others. The work help men. Right? The work help. Those are the words of his brand. All of this is my responsibility. Yeah. In refusing to own my past, I opened the door for the most hostile actors with the worst imaginings. No one was a hostile actor with the worst imagining. You're still deflecting. The hostile one was you. You were hostile to everyone who talked about anything, because at the start, people were just laughing. The hostility came from you to Sydney, and then on the Tim Pool show, and then to everybody who talked about it when you wanted to call to Glenn Beck to try and get them canceled, when you had a war room to try and go after the quartering, even after he agreed to stop posting stuff at your request, you're like, we're going to bury him. The hostile one was you, Jack. People weren't hostile. They laughed. They were laughing at you. You're just mad that they weren't listening to your equivocation and lies, which you're now saying were, that was your problem. You were just mad, and you're still mad about it. This is the thing. If you've learned, if you've grown from this, if you've truly advanced your position, you are saying in the first half that your mistake was not owning this stuff. Well, then you can't be mad at people who are agreeing with your now position, because you're just agreeing with everybody. One of the first things I said, you needed to immediately say, yeah, I did this. It was wrong. That's why I probably shouldn't have deleted it, but I really didn't want men to be confused about it. Blah, 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 blah. So you agree that all that is true. Then you can't see that advice as hostile, and you can't see the laughter as hostile either, because it wasn't. It was correct. You were hostile. So today, I am owning my past. Okay, how are you doing that? Let's see how he owns his past. Criticism has also fallen unfairly on my brothers in the Liminal Order. I'll agree to that. I think most of the men in the Liminal Order and all of the ones I've talked to were not like, they were pretty upset with Jack. I don't think any criticism falls on people who joined. I mean, you got suckered. Haha. Sorry, sucker. Happens to the best of us. We all get fucking sucked into something at some point. Some scam, some bad product, whatever, some shitty TV show. Unfortunately for you guys, it costs a lot of money. Men have been mocked for associating with me, and people have wondered what it means to be a member of the Liminal Order when the founder has secrets like these. I was not the man I should have been, but I am no longer the man I was. The Jack Murphy you see in gossipy articles, they weren't gossipy, Jack. They were just the truth. You've admitted you're still not owning your past, are you? Died before anyone even heard of him. This is not true. This isn't true. You wrote about it while you were hanging out with Cernovich, right at your cancellation. All of this stuff was happening. It's contemporaneous. This is not 2004. He still can't do it. I'm owning my past, but that past was dead before you even knew who I was. That's how I'm owning it. I should have been honest that he ever existed. I think he still does. Instead of covering him up, but I did not want him to detract from the work I started. Some of that work includes Liminal Order, men who joined together under a banner of brotherhood in a world gone mad. And my work with them continues because it's far too important to be derailed by foolishness. Imagine the guy who designed the engine compartment of the fucking Ford Pinto, right? The one that blew up all the time. Imagine him saying this exact same thing. But I started good work on the combustion engine and getting people moving and transporting them to their jobs. It's too important to be derailed by foolishness. Let me address those men in that group so the world knows the truth. Okay. Oh man. Look, I'm not saying I know how to look for lies in a written document, but I am a lawyer. just saying. The Liminal Order is not and never has been a Jack Murphy fan club. That is spelled out plainly in our initial contact page. This is not a group to celebrate myself. It should have been. Why start it? Liminal Order is a network of men living out masculine virtues in a degenerate world. Stop it. Stop, Jack. The Liminal Order, they're already dead. Why are you making fun of them like this? This is... All the Liminal Order guys are like, please stop saying this. We're bruised enough. Stop hitting me, Dad. Oh my God. Some are men who are raised with good values, who never strayed from the path, and who have come seeking others like themselves. And some are like me with their own dark secrets that they reject. But did you reject them? Or did you just ignore them? They seek to become better men, perhaps to move from Democrat to deplorable like I did, or from the consent to virtue. Move away from consent. Oh, shit. We're only on page 4. Holy shit. Let me read a couple of these super chats. I got to see what people are thinking about this. Blazing Gamer says, found a pick off Kiwi Farms. Look at the labels or words. Don't know what the show is really is about. Sent you your Twitter DM. Matthew Spriggs. Hi, Nick. Had a classmate be murdered last week. He was part of the state's canine tracking team. They located the suspect who was armed and posted up, shot him above the vest. Sergeant Josh Caudle, Arkansas Department of Corrections. Shit. Cheers to Josh Caudle. End of watch. Hopefully some peace to his family. Oh my gosh. Shroom Dukem says, glad to hear you're having fun with Elden Ring. See Goody, fuck the Liminal Order. Join the Riminal Order like a true alpha chad. www.riminalorder.com/home. And there's merch at riminal-order.creator-spring.com. Jiffy the Magic Elf says, Jack Murphy's post makes me hate life. Alcohol makes me love life again. John O'Mara says, this is the Jack Murphy train made of the engines and the caboose. I hope you get my humor. Love your show, Nick. I'm also known as Mr. Pig, but my boomer self hasn't been able to figure it out. Tina says, the only game show Arms Girl is going to win is the biggest gainer. Jordan Flata says, please say in Richard's, the manifest of the cook. Gas and Heap says, oh no, I just spilled my dollars all over this super chat. Golly, I sure hope some YouTube lawyer doesn't vacuum them all up with his giant nose and use them to buy Bitcoin. P.S. Great talking to you at Road Rage. You killed. Hey, thanks, brother. And thanks for the Bitcoin beatdown. Again, I hope you're right. I just fear that I am. And I'm a pessimist. Marcel DeFore says, Jack quotes historical figures from the immortal words of Ice-T. I got news for you. That means you're gay.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I cry every time. Ginger Snap says, I'm scared. Why does Jack sound like Larry the Cucumber? You know where he's going. Otaku 5505 says, hey, Nick, thanks for the streams. It really helped me get through some hard times last month. It was my birthday last week, but if you could send prayers, just heard my dog has to be put down and my family is devastated. Thanks. Otaku, it sucks losing a pet, man. It sucks. I hate it. It's one of the reasons I hate all pets is because eventually they fucking die. So cheers, buddy. Family's devastated, but you're the dude. You're the dude who's got to deal with it. So good luck. Andrew War Snowboard says, I didn't think the Daily Unbreaded started until 2 hours in. How embarrassing for him. Okay, back to this. The Liminal Order has 3 core values: masculinity, brotherhood, and sovereignty. Remember when Jack tried to claim just recently that he wasn't teaching men how to be men? You remember that very specific claim? I'm not out here trying to teach men how to be men. That's not what I'm doing. None of which say Jack Murphy is God. No, it's about community service, loyalty to each other, and helping each other out. We help each other when we're grieving. We help pay for funerals. We help men move their families out of violent zones into safe havens. We help men find jobs. We build businesses and institutions that reflect our values. We help men be loving fathers for their children and stable husbands for their wives. We help each other do what men are supposed to do. I did not teach a single man how to be a man. Not one time. I didn't do it. I did not. It literally said that he did not do this. Again, the lies, Jack. As for myself, I know I am not the perfect man. I've never once said Jack Murphy possesses perfect masculinity. I've consistently and continuously taken guidance from philosophy, politics, and religion. Not consistently and continuously. Because you had all this learning that didn't really seem to land until you got made fun of on the internet. So it wasn't consistent and continuous. It's literally just been 3 months. And thought to reflect on the ancient teachings and contextualize them for today. Yeah, what did Aristotle have to say about chatterbait since we're contextualizing it? Any guru that tells you they've got some new way of doing things is a liar. The only honest one is someone who helps remind you of what has already been established or decided or handed down over time. No, it's not. He's literally, Jack, your earlier point was that Aristotle had a perception of masculine virtue. And then Machiavelli came in, and then Hobbes and Locke, and that it wasn't actually any of those. It was actually all of them. So literally new things were added. Oh, I broke my fucking mic arm. New things were added in real time in your own letter. Your own letter rejects this notion that no one doing anything new. Your own letter belies what you're saying. The only honest one is someone who helped remind you of that was already been established or decided or handed down over time. This is such a false concept because at some point a new thing had to come about. It had to. If Christianity is a virtue, Christianity was new, right? Gentiles believing in the Jewish God, that was new. That was a new thing. Well, but it's been done by now. But why does that preclude? Like, so where's the cutoff where all newness stops? Like, when did that occur? This is a nonsense. This is a fallacy of antiquity, and it's a bad fucking fallacy, just like the fallacy of novelty. Jack, I thought you're a logics guy. I am not Jack Murphy, creator of masculinity. I am Jack Murphy, learning masculinity for myself and teaching others as I go. The more I learn, the more I can teach. I am a seeker, which by its nature contains humility. I'm always looking for more answers and more truth. And you can see that through everything I've ever written. No, actually, I distinctly remember one of your articles saying this is apex level stuff, which would necessarily imply that there's no more truth than that. So it's not everything you've ever written, because one of the things you ever wrote was how to have your wife have sex with other men as the peak masculine sexual energy harnessing that could happen. So that's not right at all. If you've been listening to my podcast, you know that I've always come with humility. You know that I've always come. I'm always asking people questions. I'm the student. They're the teacher. And if you need, here it is. We did it, Reddit. And if you need any evidence to the contrary that Jack Murphy says I'm the perfect Giga Chad meme and others have to do what I say, look at my history of work. In with my work, the work right next to Giga Chad. There it is. He fucking wrote it in there. And that work continues. One obvious example this year in the Liminal Order has been the philosophical analysis of masculinity as taught by Dr. Michael Millerman. He understands the philosophy of masculinity, so we learn from him. We're all still learning what it means to be a man, and we do it together. No, it's not Giga. It's Giga. Giga Chad is funnier than Giga Chad. The law of comedy by the way. This is a maxim. The law of comedy trumps phonetics. I can't believe you guys don't know about this. Giga Chad doesn't sound as good as Giga Chad. Nina Infinity, I set a boundary and you just crossed it, woman. Heartfelt. Fuck you. By the way, guys, I'm going to be on Nina Infinity's show on Wednesday night. We're going to do it. We're going to do the show. That came out weird. That came out seminal, which is not true. We're going to do a show Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, I believe, is the time. Okay. I considered stepping back when my past sins came to light. Should I shut it all down and go silent? If people believe I'm a hypocrite, should I back off so I don't damage the cause? Then I remembered I'm not the only podcaster who has faced the past being dredged up with every regretful past thing they've done and had come to terms with them in public. Oh, come on. Are we serious? I've only skimmed this letter. I did not know this paragraph was in here. This is fucking embarrassing. You ready for this? I considered Joe Rogan, for example. Why do people listen to Joe Rogan? Is it because of his inappropriate jokes, even racist jokes, and other things he has said? Literally, yes, Jack. Literally, yes. The Joe Rogan experience is the product of a decades-long career of comedy, mainstream television popularity, UFC commentary, and then it just so happened that he tends to be an interesting interviewer. But of course, it's because of the inappropriate jokes or racist jokes. That's how Joe Rogan got big, was his comedy career launched him in. It was a product of everything that our past builds us to who we are. But this is fucking bad. No, people don't listen to him for that. Do they listen to him in spite of that? Yes. No, most of the people who listen to Joe Rogan know that those jokes don't matter. It's not an in spite of, like, oh, I'm very uncomfortable by Joe Rogan's jokes, but I'm going to listen to him in spite of them. No, there's no spite to the joke. Because the people who listen to Joe Rogan are there for a good conversation. And there's no spite to the past, because that past doesn't matter in the sense of disqualification. It's not a disqualifier. It's not cancel worthy. The difference is Joe Rogan's jokes don't negate what he says. Your actions, the covering up of those actions, and the way you reacted when they were brought up, all those things combined run in direct contravention to your message. There's the difference between you and Rogan. Rogan saying an edgy joke as a comedian doesn't run in contravention to him doing great interviews, interviewing interesting people. If they're great, I don't know that Rogan's interviews are great. I think Rogan's just a good blank slate to let his guests shine. He's great at that. Whatever that is, it's a very good skill that he's developed. Okay, here we go. And Joe Rogan has talked about how he used to have libertarian values, which really means hedonistic values. Nope. You don't get to take someone else's words and impute your failings upon them. That's not how that works. And he had to transition from libertarian values to traditional virtues. And that results in behavior change. Yep. Joe Rogan seems... Wait. So is Joe... What major thing has Joe Rogan transitioned away from and into that he is now Joe Rogan, the traditional values Joe Rogan? What traditional value did Joe Rogan adopt that he didn't already hold? This is nonsense. If you look at all the great conversion stories in history, they're only memorable because how drastic the change was. I think about Saul converting into Paul. Saul didn't convert into Paul. Saul and Paul were always the same person with two different names. You had a Jewish name and a Roman name. It was always the same guy. He doesn't convert into Paul. That doesn't happen in the Bible. Jack, you're a drive-by scholar of everything. I bet. Oh, wait, did you guys see recently that fucking ad that Jack Murphy did? If you want to figure all this fucking stuff out, it's explained in the ad. You saw the ad. I played it the other day. I don't have it handy, but the ad was for a podcast, for lack of a better word, that abridges major texts into 15 minutes. Major texts, classic texts from all sorts of fields of study or classic fictional literature. It distills them into 15-minute digestible bits so you can sound good at a cocktail party. And Cuck Murphy is the guy on the fucking front page of the ad. He's the cover photo. Why? This is why he doesn't understand any of this stuff, is because he's a surface level scholar, right? Because I've gotten a directed education. That directed education was literally just you talking to someone on a podcast for an hour and a half. It didn't teach you shit. You got some quips you could take out. Jack is I fucking love science of philosophy. I fucking love philosophy. That's Jack Murphy. Like Reddit post philosophy. There you go. I understand Thomas Sowell because I read a quote. I mean, shit. For example, in the New Testament, he went from slaughtering Christians to writing a huge chunk of the Bible and correcting churches. Paul literally never once strayed away from the things he had done. There was never like, oh shit. Paul got doxxed, used to be Saul. Turns out he killed a bunch of Christians. Fuck. Sorry, you guys. I know I'm in a Philistine prison or whatever. Should have told you. Could really use help. Please send Timothy to give me blowjobs and a couple slices of bread. What are you talking about, Jack? Paul, from the moment he transitioned, was confessing his sins. From the moment, confessed who he was. Never hid. Not once. It's not just about how drastic. And by the way, Paul's story is not about Paul. God damn it. Paul's story is about God utilizing the worst offender for his good, for his glory. That's the big message. Because Paul would never self-gratify like this. Ever. He'd never, well, look at the big conversion stories of the past. Look at Samson coming around at the last second. Look at Abraham willing to sacrifice his son. That's like me. I used to slaughter Christians, and I'm kind of a lot like Abraham. No. Paul always regarded himself as the worst of sinners. Literally always. Unfit for anything. But God just kept bringing him places and using him anyway. That's a God thing, not a Paul thing, you dummy. Oh, you fucking dope. Okay. This is not me placing myself on par with the greats of history. I don't expect anyone to say, hey, look, there's St. Paul, Joe Rogan, and Jack Murphy. They're all the same. One of the most offensive sentences ever written. Definitely not. That's the opposite of virtue, the opposite of humility. I think Joe Rogan should be pissed off at this sentence. But why do people listen to Joe Rogan consistently and relate to Paul's writings? It's not just because they're experts. Well, Joe Rogan isn't an expert. I think that's, I don't think Joe would label himself an expert. That's what makes him a good interviewer is he's not an expert. He's a guy. He's normal. He's the hero's journey. He's fucking Mark Hamill, right? He's a blank slate. Is really good to allow others' expertise to shine through with kind of the regular guy questions and approaches to things. Look, I'm going to bring my own life experiences, but none of them are expertise. It's because they were normal men with a normal perspective. Then you just, not just because Paul wasn't a normal man with a normal perspective either, though. Like, this is like, you can't do this comparative analysis with Rogan and Paul. They're way different. Paul's podcast is boring, for example, and they were humble because of their path. We see their painful past and the mistakes they've made and the men they've become in spite of those pasts. Do we? What mistakes did Joe Rogan make? Like, really, what mistakes? Oh, I'm sorry I said racist jokes. Is Joe Rogan sorry? That's brand management, and everyone knows it. No one's actually mad at Joe Rogan for racist jokes. And those conversion stories make their work more meaningful to us, not less meaningful. Remember, he's comparing them because of the greatest, like the most dramatic transitions ever. And he's got Paul slaughtering Christians to not, and Joe Rogan telling racist jokes like 3 times ever and then not. Like, that's stop. This is the mistake I made. By hiding my sins, I made people believe that what I taught was a lie. It was a lie. You didn't believe it. If I'd revealed my foolish past earlier, people might have learned from my conversion story. Not because I'm on par with Joe Rogan, who didn't reveal his foolish past earlier, by the way. Like, that surfaced. I mean, everybody knows that Joe Rogan's a comedian in the 90s, and comedians in the 90s have pretty much universally said something that's offensive today. A comedian talking about laundry in the 90s. I mean, I pulled a bunch of clothes out of my head and whoa, out of the dryer, and whoa, I was suddenly wearing a turban. Then I murdered a school with a truck of peas. Like that. Everybody in the 90s said something offensive today. That's not owning your past. Fucking hell. I gotta stop. Not because I'm on par with Joe Rogan and Paul, but because I'm a normal man who made bad decisions when he thought they were right. And now I see how wrong they were. And I can say from a place of authority, these things are wrong, and here is how I know. Libertarian values, which are hedonistic values, nope. They're 2 different words because they're 2 different things. Like, these are vastly different concepts. Tell us we can do whatever we want without consideration beyond consent. Literally, no. Libertarians have a non-aggressive principle, the non-aggression principle, which means that you can't just consider the consent, because you might violate the non-aggression principle in a different way to someone else, even if you have the consent of the main party. This is not the way to build a meaningful life. We've all seen the extreme behavior libertarian values can result in. Wait, what? What libertarian extremists are we talking about? What is this? The destruction of the family, creating generations of broken people who don't know how to love or be loved. This is not libertarianism. The fuck is he on about? Hold on. Sorry. Today I have learned one thing. Jack Murphy knows literally fuck all about libertarianism and hedonism. Good Lord. Okay, sorry. Sometimes you just have to tweet. You just have to do it. Drug epidemics claiming millions of lives. Yes, the complete libertarian philosophy of drug epidemics. School kids having their nudes posted online and committing suicide from the embarrassment and bullying. Yes, posting nudes online, very libertarian perspective, doesn't violate the non-aggression policy at all. Or principle. The NAP is not violated by taking someone's nudes and posting them online without their consent for the purpose of embarrassment and bullying. That's very libertarian. And yes, people doing shameful things in their relationships and on the internet. Fucking goodness. People call me a hypocrite for not owning my mistakes. Well, I own them now. They've been revealed for the whole world to see, and there's no going back. It's not owning them. Oh my God. I would not go back if I could, because my past reveals that everything I've warned about has been true. No, it wasn't, though. It wasn't true at all. Your past was fine until it got exposed. Now it's not true, but you had the grift. You had it down. What destruction did you were multiplying and growing way more than you ever did. It's not true. Let's see. I've written countless emails, blog posts, and tweets, and recorded dozens of podcasts, and even wrote a book. It's called Democrat to Deplorable. Maybe you've heard of it. Warning about the evils of libertarian values. I've told everyone who will listen that libertine is not libertarian. Beliefs and licentious actions will destroy individuals and, in turn, society. When I say that now, people will know that I'm speaking from personal experience. But that didn't destroy you, though. That's the other problem. It didn't destroy you. That's when you were growing. What destroyed you was dishonesty, not libertine practice, not hedonism, not libertarianism. Dishonesty destroyed you. You still don't know you still haven't learned. I'm not saying it academically, theoretically, or rhetorically. These are raw memories of how leftist beliefs nearly destroyed me. They nearly ruined me again when I refused to own up to them. That wasn't them. How did they this is okay. Pro tip. If you're going to come clean about your past and you're going to own the things and you're going to sit here and talk about how those beliefs nearly destroyed you, talk about how the beliefs nearly destroyed you. That's what he hasn't done. I still think this motherfucker's licking hairy assholes. I still think it's happening. I have seen nothing to tell me the opposite. They're being revealed caused people to walk away from the truth I was trying to share. Nope, your dishonesty. Not their being revealed. You're still missing the point. My story doesn't negate what I've taught. It proves it. Actually, it's you that's wrong. My own life is a study in the truth of what I teach. And it's time I embrace that so I can do more good than ever before. They'll strike me down, but I'll become back stronger. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was a cuck too. Because if I can prevent even one young man from following my path, if I can just save one life, if I can just help just one man find virtue before he makes grievous mistakes that will haunt him, all the stupidity I embrace will be worth it. Will it, though? Will it? I place greater importance on the health of our society and our people than my own comfort. The fallacy of altruism. It's not for me. It's for everybody. So if the truth can help save people, then let the truth be shouted from the rooftops. And I'm not starting from zero. My bad choices from 3 years ago. 3 years ago is 2019. I just want to point out that his bad choices were happening contemporaneously with the liminal order. He's acting like these things were all gone and dead, but they weren't. 3 years ago have led to 3 years of changes and improvements. I'm engaged to my longtime girlfriend so we can get married and do things right. 3 years. While so many people are shacking up and playing house, I am putting action behind my values. Wait, what? Shacking up and play. Turns out I'm better than other people. That's not to say I'm better than others. Wow. Or that I'm a perfect example. It's me living what I teach. As I learned more about the importance of accepting responsibility and the purpose of marriage in society, I changed to embrace my duties. What does he mean by shacking up and playing house? Have you married her yet? And why not? Like, what has stopped him? While other people are shacking up and playing house, I'm living out of wedlock with my fiance, my personal fucking fiance, who I sent to Matt from Tinder to be railed and then put on chatterbait for the world to see her be degraded. This is one change in 1,000 as I continue to transition from libertarian values to traditional virtues. One of the most traditional virtues is lifetime commitment and faithfulness, right? I don't know. Is it? It's actually not one of the most traditional virtues. If you really look at the Old Testament, I mean, I guess it depends what you mean. Maybe some people reading this are hiding secrets of their own. Their libertarian path conflicts with who they want to be. I see a lot of people argue online about whether women can reform after 10 years in hookup culture. It's scientifically difficult for that to happen. So that's why we're trying to prevent those mistakes. And it's a lot of this is on men because men have a value system, whether you like it or not, ladies. And if a man goes down on you and they hear their own breathing echoed back, I don't know, because it's a fucking cavern. That's the joke, because it's a cavern. Then I don't know. I don't know if they want to value that. Whether the woman can deal with it or not is largely irrelevant because it's a partnership. But can they really be a loving wife or mother? Or whether men can come back from various emasculating experiences to become honorable. Can they really be respectable? It's not if they can be respectable. It's will they be respected? Again, the don't get pegged thing is so important because once a woman is pegging you, she doesn't respect you, whether you're respectable or not. That's the idea, Jack. I am here to say you can find redemption. Just because you were X in the past does not mean you will be X forever. No, it doesn't. And no one's saying that it does. No one says it means that. It's, if you take your brand new Mustang 5-liter GT and you hit a deer with it and bend the frame can be bent back, but the Carfax report is always going to show a damaged frame. And you may even have to provide a salvage title to the person you sell it to. Can it still go 170 miles an hour? Maybe. Can the structure be reinforced and fixed and all that? Maybe. But everybody who looks at that Carfax report is going to go, fuck. And we're just trying to, this is it. This is all anyone's trying to do is prevent everybody from looking at your Carfax or your ASFAX report and going, fuck. That's it. Simple. That's what all the manosphere bullshit is, by the way. Is that you have an ASFAX report, and if a dildo's been in it, someone's going to look at that and go, fuck. And if enough people look at it and go, fuck, then you're out. Then you're done. Christianity morality has informed a large part of my quest for redemption and growth. The unique part of Christianity is redemption. It's not actually unique to Christianity. Redemption exists basically in all major faiths. It's just the means by which redemption comes. We are redeemed not by our own works, but by grace. And part of that grace is true repentance for what we've done and a heart desiring change, which kind of sounds like your own works. As I move to explore my faith, I am pressed to cultivate humility, repentance, and a heart of change. Those are works. And this experience has created more urgency for me to seek that redemption than ever before. I must become what I am called to be rather than what I have chosen to be in the past. What was old will become new. Frankly, if anyone rejects the ability to be redeemed, they are rejecting Christian morality and the American spirit. Well, turns out that they're not the Christians. Come on, man. Stop it. That is not to say that I'm synonymous with the Christian faith or that I don't have to show my repentance and desire to change. I do, and that is on me. But those who would attack me from here on out, those who say there is no hope for a man to change, it is not me they are attacking. They're attacking they're attacking Jesus. It's not me. It's Jesus that you're mad at. The American love for a comeback. And I will no longer respond to them. I will spend my effort changing and learning and being redeemed from the man I was when I didn't know better. You fucking idiot. Don't understand redemption in Christ either. I cannot be Jack Murphy, leader of perfect men who've never made mistakes. I am not the Giga Chad without need for redemption. I can't be that role model. I never wanted to be. I will never be perfect. And after this revealing of my past, I can't even pretend to be, because what was never my role to play. This new phase of my life demands I become something else. So who am I now? Jack Murphy, a man who was once a libertine fool but embraced virtue. Jack Murphy, a seeker who will learn more about morality until the day I die. Jack Murphy, a companion for people who believe they're too broken to be redeemed. Jack Murphy, a living example of God's grace and the American spirit. Wrap him in the Christian flag and the American flag. It's a double wrap burrito when you put him in the coffin. This is who I am. I would like you to be a part of it. If you're holding things back, secrets you're afraid would hurt you, I want you to know there's a way through the darkness. And if you want to be part of my journey, I'm glad to have you along. If you're someone who's horrified at my past, let me say that I share that horror. The man I was 3 years ago, remember 2 of those years were COVID, is not who I want to be. And I'm doing everything I can to become the best man I can be. That includes learning from everyone who will teach me. Does this sound like another cuck to you guys? I know some of you are new to the channel and might not recognize it, but does this sound like some other cuck? Sure does. Sure does sound like another one. Sounds a lot like Ron Toye to me. If you're further along in that journey than I am, I'd appreciate your insight and advice. I am a student and I want to learn. Learning is how we become better than we were. If you don't want to be part of my journey, that's fine too. This is the only one I agree with so far. Maybe you don't believe in redemption. Oh, of course not. What a fucker. Never mind. I disagree with it immediately. Or you aren't interested in seeing a transition from humanism to objective good. Go ahead and unsubscribe. Maybe you're a bad person. He literally just said, maybe you're a bad piece of shit. There you go. Leave me alone. This is the road I'm on, and I have to walk it. If our paths diverge here, I wish you the best. The Jack Murphy of 3 years ago is dead. The Jack Murphy of 3 months ago is dead too. From here on out, I will be the Jack Murphy who acknowledges the past so I can encourage those with a painful past of their own. I will work to make the world better, as I was already doing. Not by works, 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 not by works. It's not by works, though. God. But this time without the shadow of regret hanging over me. Because you see, I was already doing the good thing. I was actually good the whole time. I was right the whole time. But just this little thing came up and distracted from the work. And I will continue to shout for all the world to hear there is real truth to be found in virtue, masculinity, and social responsibility. We must make the world better. I hope you'll join me. There you go. From the Liminal Order to Jack. Or from Jack of the Liminal Order to the liminal order. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I hope that's the last I ever hear of Jack Murphy. That's what I got. That's what I got. I hope that that's the last I ever hear of him. Okay, here we go. Let me read a couple of these super chats and then we'll jump into the long crime letter. It took longer than I expected because it was just so fucking bad. Look, I am a guy who believes in redemption and comebacks and that, but here's the thing. If someone harms a child, I'm not talking about molests. I'm talking about someone carelessly causes severe injury to a child, right? They got drunk, passed out, the kid goes out, cuts themselves on some scissors or something, has to go to the hospital. It's really bad. They drink some sort of poison, barely make it, whatever. Right? Their bad actions cause harm to a child. They can be redeemed. They certainly can be redeemed. They can repent. They can beg forgiveness from the child's parents. Maybe they are the parent, from their partner, from their family. They can do all those things. They can confess the failures. They can change who they were entirely. And you can forgive them and they can be redeemed. But you maybe don't let them watch the kid again. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's redemption. Redemption doesn't mean that you are put back into places of trust. And when you're running an order, for whatever you want to call it, that is designed to teach and help men, if you're doing that, okay. But you lied. You abused all of it. So how do they trust? How can you go back to the trust? How can you be allowed to watch the child again? I would wager that largely you can't. And you can think that that's unfair all day. Oh, well. I'm sorry. You broke the trust. You could be redeemed. You could be a better person. You can be forgiven. But do people trust you? No, you might have to do something else. Like if a guy accidentally launched a nuke. Shit, sorry. Well, okay, we did our investigation. We determined it was Kim Potter's a great example. Kim Potter. Pretend that she didn't go to prison. Or even if she did go to prison. Who fucking cares? Can Kim Potter be forgiven? Like, I think she was genuinely regrets that she pulled out that gun and pulled the trigger on Dante Wright. I don't think she wanted to kill him. So I believe that. Can she be redeemed and forgiven for killing this person? Sure. Do I want her to be a cop again? No. No, even if she was found 100% innocent. Do I want her being a cop? No. No, I don't. I don't want Curtis Reeves going to a movie theater ever again. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I would prefer Kyle Rittenhouse to not go to any more protests. Well, unless maybe there's a bunch of pedophiles protesting, then he can go. Because it's Rittenhouse time, baby. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you can be redeemed for these things. But you maybe don't do the same thing again. And that's just the ropes. MKEOD says, if he had any shame, Jack would have just hung it up. He made enough money from his grift to be okay. Like so many, he just can't let it go. Craves the attention. Also, when he says libertarian, he should use libertine. And he kind of started to later. I don't think he knows the difference. BN says that a bridge text company is just a Blinkist clone, $35 million company that's been around for a while and fairly popular. Also pretty sure that was just a guy with a similar beard. And I think that was him. But maybe not. I don't know. Wolfgang Deo says, I don't see how the non-aggression principle goes with libertarian values. Surely libertarian values stem from liberty, the freedom to do what one ought. And while one ought not be aggressive, perhaps someone ought to be. No, the non-aggression principle isn't just, it's not general non-aggressiveness. It's not infringing with the property right of another. That's the non-aggression principle. You aggress by infringing upon a right. There are times when people lose their rights. Like if someone tries to hit you and you defend yourself, they have lost their right to not be hit or worse by you. So it's not aggression at that point. They violated the aggression principle, non-aggression principle. Seagody says, smash the like button like Jack Murphy smashes Filipino ladyboys. Ghost of Recon says, this guy is like a preacher getting caught having an affair with the organist, coming in the next Sunday and telling everyone he should still be on the pulpit because he overcame his sin. Yep. Sure sounds a lot like it. Rumble usernames sucks, says philosopher, scholar, and spiritualist Jordan B. Peterson. There's some other examples in practical fields like Thomas Sowell. Yeah, I can think of some people, but I want to know who he means. That's what I want to know. Who does Jack mean? Okay. We're shorter on time than I thought. Let's do law and crime. This was sent to me Thursday. I've been sitting on this, waiting for you guys. This is the next step. So if brief reminder, Law and Crime filed a copyright claim on one of my videos, my commentary on the Chandler Halderson opening statements. Which is a video in which I extracted a hour and a half, maybe, out of a, actually, I think it was less time than that, out of a 5-hour live stream, and commented very specifically about it. Offered commentary, criticism, and analysis of what was going on, and transformed it from what it wasn't into something new. They filed a copyright claim on this. I filed a counter notification, which means that the next step that they had to do was within 10 business days of that counter notification, they have to file a lawsuit, or the copyright strike and the claim will be reversed on YouTube. Okay. So this is their response to Mr. Stephen Birch and me. Dear Mr. Birch, our office has been made aware of the February 22nd, 2022 counter notification filed by your client, Nicholas Robert Rekieta, hereinafter Mr. Rekieta, in regard to the above referenced matter. As you have been previously advised, I am legal counsel at Law News, Inc., the owner and operator of Law and Crime Network, hereinafter Law and Crime, which streams live trials, courtroom procedures, and government proceedings, many times with its own analysis and commentary. By the way, I have literally never seen any Law and Crime analysis or commentary that I know of. I looked at someone's analysis and commentary of Rittenhouse. I don't think it was Law and Crime, though. Washington Post, maybe? But they do tend to have a separate video that they release, I think daily, and it's called Law and Crime Daily, if I'm not mistaken. And they have some short commentary and analysis. I think it's like 20 minutes long. As stated in our prior correspondence to you, dated January 19th and February 18th, Law and Crime is the sole and complete owner of the video entitled Watch Live, Wisconsin versus Chandler Halderson Day 1, Prosecution Opening Statement by William Brown, original video, which was originally published on January 4th, 2022 via Law and Crime's YouTube channel. To reiterate, Law and Crime owned and operated all 3 of the cameras that were in the courtroom capturing that trial. I think I don't remember, but I think I actually took the video from their live stream, not from the prosecution's opening statement, because I covered the defense's opening statement as well. It was just very short. So I think I took it from the live stream, but maybe not. I don't remember. They clipped it out of their own live stream, so I guess it doesn't matter. So they own and operated all 3 of the cameras that were in the courtroom capturing that trial. Mr. Rekieta has infringed upon Law and Crime's original video by taking and publishing it on his YouTube page in a commercial capacity, infringing content, and has also violated the media instructions specifically issued by the court in this case. This is false. This is not true. Here we go. We'll do this real quick. Here, I'll do it this way. Oh, damn it. I want to fucking full screen this. Fit to page. Oh my God. Hold on. Fucking thing. Here we go. Let's real quickly look at this. Amended order regarding media and courtroom access. Okay. Court is mindful of the need to balance the right of the parties to a fair trial with the public's right to access. Here's the court's order. Pursuant to this, video cameras will be permitted access to the media room adjacent to courtroom 7D. These cameras will be subject to any restrictions set by the court. Because the media room is limited space, no more than 3 video cameras may be used at one time. Media is encouraged to cooperate in the video process, as no additional cameras, still, or video will be permitted within the courtroom. These cameras may be used to capture images of counsel, the defendant counsel tables, witness stand, and witnesses, screen upon which exhibits are shown to the jury, the bench, the well of the courtroom between the bench, counsel tables, and the jury box, as well as general view of the courtroom from the counsel tables to the witness stand. No image of the courtroom or any space within shall capture images of members of the public attending the trial, such that their identity can be determined. No camera shall take any close-up of the counsel table, such as any detail of a written document. Based upon the witness list, there's no restriction regarding showing the faces of any witnesses. Cameras shall not capture or broadcast any images of the jurors' faces, whether during jury selection or during trial. Particular care must be exercised the day of the jury selection. At the beginning of the process, potential jurors will be seated in the gallery in the jury box. The media are prohibited from beginning any recording or live stream until after the entire jury panel is seated in the jury box and in the gallery. And that way, no faces will be recorded as potential jurors move into their seats. If it becomes necessary to excuse jurors during the selection process, the media are to focus their cameras on a neutral place within the courtroom, so jurors not recorded as he or she gathers personal items and begins to leave the jury box area. Further, once a new juror is called, the camera must remain focused, so the new face of the new juror is not recorded. As determined by the court in response to pretrial motion on the subject, the live stream of the court proceedings are not to include anything which occurs within the courtroom, but outside of the jury's presence. Whenever the jury is excused from the courtroom, the video feed on any live stream shall be stopped in order to ensure that the jury is not exposed to anything which happens within the courtroom during their absence. Once the jury is reseated, the live stream may resume. The media shall not record or live stream an image that shows the face of the jury. Okay, none of this have I done, nor could I. Should the court engage in individual voir dire of any or all prospective jurors, such will be conducted in courtroom 7C. Courtroom, that process will be open to the public and to the media. However, neither still photography nor video recording will be permitted. Court finds the use of such equipment carries too much potential to be detrimental to the process, and the permitting cameras is unnecessary to the fulfillment of the need for public access to court proceedings. What did I violate? What did I violate? Somebody tell me what I didn't do that I could have possibly been ordered to do in this scenario. Mind you, I'm also not under the jurisdiction of a Wisconsin court. I'm not in Wisconsin. I'm not physically present. None of those things apply to me. I don't have a camera in the courtroom. Here we go. In contrast to the false and misleading claims made by you and your client, Law and Crime not only owns the footage from the trial, which they could have told us earlier, but they didn't. They could have just showed us that it was their cameras, but has also secured the copyright registration of the original video. This is new. They got it. They got the copyright registration. Attached as Exhibit A to this correspondence is a certificate of registration issued by the U.S. Copyright Office for the original video. As such, if our office chooses to pursue litigation to resolve the issue, we would be fully entitled to seek statutory damages and attorney's fees from your client. They would. Seek them. You got to win first. You got to win first. In regard to the media instructions by the court, Mr. Rekieta has violated the December 28, 2021 order issued in the Chandler Halderson trial by Judge John D. Hyland, which instructed all media to cooperate in the video process as no additional cameras, still, or video will be permitted within the courtroom. That is not an order of the court, you retard. The media is encouraged is not an order of the court. It would say the media shall, and you would have to define the media because, again, I'm not under the jurisdiction of Wisconsin courts. I'm not in Wisconsin. I'm not in the courtroom. I have not submitted a motion before the court. I have not asked for permission to practice in front of this judge in this matter. You actual fucking idiot. The media is encouraged. It's not even an order binding you. It's literally an encouragement. All kinds of ambiguity exists in this paragraph. Okay. Notice the ... instructed all media to ... No. Why did you ... the word encouraged? It should say in which all media is quote ... encouraged to cooperate in the video process. That would be the way to do that. Unless you're trying to lie, but okay. As Law and Crime operated the only 3 cameras allowed in the courtroom, per the order, all other media members and commentators were and are required to reach out to our office to utilize its feed. Nope, that's not in the order at all. Literally not present. You're making things up again, law cucks. You're stretching the truth again, and you know it. Mr. Rekieta had every opportunity to abide by the provisions in this order and request consent from Law and Crime to utilize its feed. But I didn't have to. It's also not in the order. But he instead blatantly ignored the court's instructions and misappropriated Law and Crime's footage. Oh, did I? Further, as advised in our February 18, 2022 letter, your position that Mr. Rekieta's utilization of Law and Crime's trial feed constitutes fair use is completely inaccurate. For the reasons already stated in our correspondence to you, several of the factors examined in the fair use analysis clearly weigh in Law and Crime's favor, including the amount of material used, commercial nature of the use, and its impact on the market. We could go back and forth on this further, but I'm sure you understand the limitations of a fair use argument in this scenario. I'm sure you understand the limitations of your fair use analysis in this scenario as well. So here we go. Here's the meat of it. Despite the violations listed above, which we're very confident in, and the strength of our claims, which we're very confident in, our office, for the time being, has decided to refrain from pursuing litigation against your client. Of course you have. This was the dumbest thing you could have done. From the start, you have been stumbling over your own ovaries. What were you thinking? Instead, we will be pursuing a content ID claim in regard to Law and Crime's original video. A content ID claim would allow Mr. Rekieta's videos to remain active on his channel without a copyright strike, and Law and Crime would simply receive any advertising revenue generated from such videos going forward, because I've already been paid the revenue going backwards, and that only happens from the start of a content ID claim. Going forward, should Mr. Rekieta wish to utilize Law and Crime videos, feeds, or coverage, he must contact our team first requesting permission. Contact our team first requesting permission first, in accordance with judicial rules, and we will be happy to accommodate. If not, we will at the very least be pursuing content ID claims for any other videos infringing on Law and Crime's content as well. We hope this compromise amicably resolves this matter. Sincerely, Eric P. Slater. So here we go. Here's their copyright certification. So they applied on February 22nd, 2022. So they sent the letter before they applied for this. They got it really fast. This is good. They applied for this when I filed my counterclaim. So here's a registration number. The effective date of registration is after the day after I filed my counterclaim, and their decision date is the 24th. So here we go. This trial day one prosecuting opening statement by William Brown. I should go in and check and see if that's actually the infringing property. Let's see. Author created the entire motion picture, work made for hire, copyright claim. Material excluded from this claim, some pre-existing footage and images. New material, including the claim, all other cinematographic material. So there we go. There's that. Here's their order that they miscited. That's it. That is the result. So Law and Crime will be content ID claiming literally dollars of advertising revenue. And that's only if I don't counter notify the content ID claim, which I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see. I'll give you an idea of what that video looks like. Day over day here, day by day here. Let's see. So if I go to that video, which by the way, the existing copyright claim is on there. So they haven't done the content ID claim yet. I assume they will, because they say they will, but I don't think they can until that video copyright actually falls off. No. Where is it? Oh, wait, did it already fall off? Oh, wait, no, it was taken down, so I can't see it. Fuck. Yeah. Just a second. See, I can't actually pull that one up. Because it's currently down. Oh, wait, no, there it is. Here we go. Oh, the data is still processing. Damn. Yeah, I can't see any of the shit on it because it's down. Long story short, if they take all of the advertising revenue from a live stream, here I can check. I mean, we're talking pennies a day, literal pennies. So good. Go for it. If they're going to pursue it on all of them, it'll be funny because there are many of them that they do not own the copyrights to. Watermark that video with law cuck on it. Well, I now have my very transformative copyright cucks logo, which I'll be using anytime Law and Crimes feed is being used. So we'll see. Countering their content ID claim doesn't actually do anything. They can, here's the thing. So right now they've decided not to pursue it. They could change their mind tomorrow, even if I do nothing. Actually, even if I do nothing, if I do 0 things, they could sue me tomorrow. Despite what the letter says. They could sue me the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. They have till the statute of limitations on the infringement. Which is I don't know what that is. Maybe 2 years, something like that. But they could sue at any point. So whether I counterclaim the content ID thing won't actually change their ability to sue in any way. It doesn't do anything. That's YouTube's system. And that's a whole different thing from the copyright claim. But this marks the current end of the saga unless they change their mind. Which, who knows? Who knows what they'll end up doing? But that's it. That's the Law and Crime saga. So far, it's fizzled out. They're very strong claim. They're very confident in. But so here's how statutory damages work in a copyright claim. They're up to, I think they're on this type of content, they're up to $35,000 per infringing item plus attorney's fees. But there's a real rub there. And it's called up to $35,000. Because you don't always get $35,000. That statutory damage that you are entitled to could be $150, could be $1,000. Who knows? The advertising revenue on that stream. And here's one of the big problems that they know they have. Even if they're right, they know I maybe cost them like $50. That's the big problem that they've got, is how to prove that their video would have done so much better. And even if they took every view from my video for advertising revenue purposes and applied it to their video, if they took every single view, they would maybe be able to show about $200 to $250 in revenue. But that's ludicrous, right? Because not every view comes from them. So they'd have to try and prove it out. And it'd be really tough to do. They don't monetize in that way. And the monetization I got on the stream is largely super chats. And they would, if they tried to come after the super chats, it would only be ones theoretically that came in during that segment, which is only a portion of the entire video. I think it's about an hour and a half of the video. So they've got another of a 4.5 hour video. So they've got another problem there. Random 11. Maybe not an expert. Doesn't matter. The reason they're not going to do anything is because they really aren't confident that they're going to win. They started all this shit and they thought I would back down. That's the problem that they have. They thought I would just go, well, I don't want to deal with it. It's very, very scary. Too bad they did it with an asshole. So, that's the issue, I think. And I think they've realized that this fight has hurt them unnecessarily. It cost them actual paying subscribers for no reason. But that was their choice. I did nothing. I chose nothing here. I grabbed something. I transformed it dramatically from the original content to what it was, or to what it became. It uses only as much of the footage as is necessary for the purpose of commentary and criticism. And we're not competing markets because people want commentary and criticism. That's why they're here. They're not actually here to just watch through a trial that's being broadcast with no commentary or criticism. And one of the big problems they've got is, though they do provide their own commentary, criticism, and analysis, I didn't use that video. Not at all. I didn't compete with that in any way. Well, other than the legitimate normal way of competition where I made my commentary, analysis, and criticism video, and they also have a commentary, analysis, and criticism video that is different from the one that I used. So that's a different product. So anyway, kind of an anticlimactic end, but I would, as always, I prefer not to be in a lawsuit. Generally speaking, stressful, costs a lot of money, don't want to do it. But I don't know. I mean, like, so I guess I'm happy about that. I don't really want to be sued. I saw how long it took fucking Sargon's case. What, almost 2 years? So, and the thing about copyright is you can't undo it. The thing that they originally asked me to do is to delete the video. Well, no, fuck you. Nope. And all of that shit about them saying, well, he had every opportunity to contact us and ask permission. For fair use, I don't need permission. That's what fair use is. You don't need permission because it's something new. It's a different thing that's entitled to its own copyright protection. It's a different product. And for all of that nonsense, they had every opportunity to contact me and work out an amicable way ahead of time before looking like fucking tools to resolve this. And all they had to do was say, hey, we see you streaming some of our stuff. We'd really appreciate it if you would go ahead and tell people that they could watch a bunch of trial coverage if they like this stuff on our channel. I would have done it in a heartbeat because I was already doing it. That's the way you do things on YouTube. You do them collaboratively because it's smarter and it's better. And Law and Crime got the same bullshit treatment that I got during Rittenhouse by YouTube when they accidentally shut us all down. We could have been allies, even though they have wildly different political opinions. I don't give a shit about that. I think they do, but I don't give a shit about their political opinions. We have wildly different political opinions. Doesn't matter to me. We're all providing trial coverage. And I would have happily praised their trial coverage because it is valuable. It's just different than what I do. So that's that. Mike, bro? Why do you keep saying Mike, bro? Okay. Jason J, it's not that simple. Trying to get into the media pool, I'm looking into it, but it's not easy. When you're in the media pool, you have to have a camera crew ready to go if you get selected for the pool. And if you don't, you have to pay some undisclosed amount of money sometimes to be in the thing. And guess what? All of these companies work to keep out independent journalists from the media pool. Why do you think all of the major coverage are affiliate stations from major networks or a multi-million-dollar corporation like Law and Crime? Media pool's never like Terry's video service, right? Why not? Yeah, they They set their own cost prohibitive rules. But I am looking into it. Happy to attempt. I'll make sure next time that I'm going to cover a trial that uses law and crime cameras, which is not so easy to discern. I'll send them a request. We'll see. I wonder if they'll happily acquiesce, right? Like because they said they would in the letter, right? They said they would happily. What was it? What was the expression that they used? Let's see this shit. I've made fun of them enough that I honestly doubt that. I wouldn't blame them either. I just doubt it. So here we go. First, requesting permission, first in accordance with judicial rules, and we will be happy to accommodate. How will you be happy to accommodate? What's the accommodation? Yeah, you can use our feed. Cool. If it's that, great. I'll request it. Let's see what happens. We'll see next time. I have no idea. It wasn't their camera in the Curtis Reeves trial. I have no idea who the camera is going to be in Johnny Depp. I don't know what trial I'll cover before that, if there will be one. So that's that. All right, let's we're gonna have to wrap up this show here in just a minute. Of course, we've got super chats to do. We'll do all of those, then wrap up the show. Shut Up, I Can Cook says, I just lost someone dear to my heart. I'm grieving, no desire for a toast. I want answers from God. He was 50. You always make me laugh and I learn, but heartbroken. Yeah. Shut Up, I Can Cook. That is that's the hard part of it, man. Woman, whatever. That's the tough bit right there. So I won't give you a toast. You didn't ask for one, but I'll think about you. Throw a little prayer your way, and hopefully you find some guidance and peace. Rannon says, if law and crime wish to use content ID, you can cause a content ID deadlock by using content ID from another. Say the guy that does your ending music. Have him claim your video, which will cause a content ID deadlock, no ads. Well, he would have to have content ID. You have to get approved for content ID, and just see, like, YouTube has not approved me for content ID, even though I only create original works. So, bollocks. You gotta have something else. I don't know what else I need to do to get content ID. It's bullshit that I don't have access to it because I meet literally all the criteria. But there you go. Scott Bain says, with a successful content ID claim, do they gain any claim to your super chat chicken? Nope. Given the general conciliatory tone of their letter, maybe make a deal for blanket rights to future streams. Nah, they don't have blanket rights. If they want to file content ID claims, they can do that. And then I'll either counter them or not, depending on the validity. That's up to them. Or they could just be smarter about this, and we could reach an agreement in private like they should have done. I don't think they'll be amenable to it now. But a simple affiliate agreement, which is it's what they should have done. It was a smart move. And they've known this is coming. Here's the other thing about this that I'll say. Yes, we still have unbreaded. Don't worry. Here's the other thing about this. The one thing that's not in this letter, and not in any letter, is that there is some media pooling agreement. And that media pooling agreement has never shown up anywhere. And I think they know why. Because I think if we read that media pooling agreement, there would be some more ambiguity to their claim. All right. Let me read some of these chats over here on Rumble and Odyssey. Malik Foxon says Jack's done the same work that Ron Toye's done when he was first doing the work. This whole document convinced me. Elgonzo says changing to a morning shift, so I'll be missing the daily unbreaded. Rip. Zalcor says shut up. Tato Chip says, hey, Nick, let me just shill that Odyssey. Just got an app for Android. Oh, did they? Good. So Odyssey's got an app for Android. No longer using that shitty Libri app that they had. Very, very cool. Very cool. Over on Rumble username sucks says, nice JP Sears voice for John, Jack, Cuck, Murphy, Goldman. Spatula says, liberal Democrats preach diverse lifestyles, but they behave like social conservatives. Except for far left parents, nobody is raised with the do what makes you happy message. No. True liberalism is that you just let other people have the freedom to do what they want, so you don't infringe upon their behaviors with laws. That's true classic liberalism. Well, you have your rights and your freedoms and your desires and your pursuit of happiness, so we'll let you do that. We're not going to just make random laws. Now, liberalism has changed from what classic liberalism is. Classic liberalism being closer to libertarianism. But most people haven't. Like your standard liberal, they're not out there to police behavior a lot of the times. It's changing, right? The commies and the socialists are flooding into that normal liberal of the 70s and 80s into super liberals, as Joe Biden would call them. SC Medic says, it appears from my perspective that old cuckboy has swallowed a thesaurus, among other things. SC Medic also says, St. Goldman sounds like he has gone from deplorable back to Democrat, won't honestly own his past and blaming everyone else while claiming that he is the one doing the important work in the world. And Joe Schmo, one of three, says, if Jack Murphy wants to convince us of his beta redemption, he needs to sit down with Jesse Lee Peterson for an hour. That'd be a good one. I want to sit down with Jesse Lee Peterson for an hour. Damn, that'd be fun. I want him to call me a beta. Okay. Let's see. We got Mike Stanland. Welcome to Lawyer Status. Connor O'Brien says, tossing salad and taking names. Jack Goldstein at your service. Jay Liebgott says, the rim anal order. Breck Nichols, welcome to Paralegal. Thank you. Joel Reese tried the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Disgusting. I ate 4 of them. They're so good. They're so good. I don't know what it is. Something about the butter on the. And Joel Reese also says, you need to check Ripa roasting a fat guy live. Yes. I'm going to do that. That might be part of tomorrow's stream. I got to see what else we're doing. But that might be part of tomorrow's stream. I heard it was epic. I want to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. But Ripa's awesome. Maybe I could get Ripa on to help me break down his roast. X Gundam X78 says, I got to know, what did Detroit ever do to you, Nick? Why you got to give Motown guff? What did it do to me? What did Detroit do to itself? See Goody says, at least call them the Lawtists over LawTube. Echo to Papa 2. You need to try Crown Maple Bourbon Barrel Aged Maple Syrup. I think I've had that. Gotta check. I've had some Bourbon Barrel Aged Maple Syrup and I liked it. Ripa just had a 4-hour debate with the disappointing Lucas. Yeah, what happened to Amazing Lucas? He was all the rage for a while, and now everybody hates him. I heard he started kind of going in on identity politics. Is that a thing? But yeah, I'll see if Ripple wants to come on. I met him down in Dallas. Super cool dude. Very chill. Made a good time. Smart guy. Wise. A wizened man. DCV Titan says proof that some walls hit different. Oh no. Crusader, Murphy is even worse than a Jehu. He is, and may Allah forgive me for uttering this word, a cuck. Skyrim 96. Uh-oh, Jack, I opened up my ass attack is back. Matty Ice, R.E. the Cain Velasquez case. California judge released a Chomo without bail to house arrest. The house he wasn't supposed to leave was where the daycare was run out of. How can we bring pressure? I don't know, man. I don't know how to bring pressure on a California court. Speaking of, I got to check in on Mercedes Carrera. Her trial should be happening soon. Knight James II says, can finally send some cash your way now that I have a job again. That's the work. Literal fucking work. You want to do the work and help men? Guys, get jobs. Do them. Do jobs. Men do better when they do something, in my opinion. I think retired guys might agree with me. A lot of retired guys try and find something to do. Maybe it's not paid work, but it's something to do. Okay, we need to do it. We need to do it, right? It's time. I've waited so long. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it's time for the unbreaded. 601. Oh, that's close to the one we did the other day. I bet it's good. Unbreaded. All right. All right. 601. The other day we had 603, I think, which was a. Oh, shit. Which was, I think, a winner, but. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, shit. This will be good. All right. I don't want no mongoloid half-breed savage in my nation. Inject a powwow into their blood and call it a sunset. Fuck Hong Kong with a dirty bomb. See how quickly she got ugly by her second picture? Yeah, it's because she's old. Trust me, she used to be pretty from all her angles. Yeah, well, imagine her drunk. Her drunk sounds annoying. No, I mean you looking at her while you're drunk. That's cheating. She should already be attractive. Too bad she's old. Purge the Ottomans. My room smells like rotten yogurt. Did you fuck an Irish woman lately? Yeah? Well, you might want to call a ghost cleaner because it sounds like the mix have infected you with their donkey blood. You think she got that broken jaw on purpose? Nah, you think she actually tripped and fell on her biggest beauty flaw by accident one day while she was drunk? Doesn't sound like a mistake. Sounds like she paid her friend to break her jaw on purpose and paid a plastic surgeon to fix it. Sounds like she got drunk and had someone break her jaw. Yeah, or maybe she just got plastic surgery. That might give the dumb blonde too much credit. I have a history of doing that. You mean you treat blonde women like they're smarter than they actually are? Any adult who needs to dye her hair blonde to escape who she is doesn't deserve credit. Sounds like you're attracted to women who don't exist. Actually, some would just call that being attracted to women. Please admit you were settling. I mean, her face ain't pretty, but her butt is more than most white girls, so it's basically a trade-off if you like white girls. Either settle for their face or their bodies. Some would call that a lose situation. I mean, white girls have pretty noses. The rest of them leaves a lot to be desired. Bikes don't even have that. I mean, white girls have pretty noses. The rest of them leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, 90% of white women have inferior noses to the cute noses I'm interested in, so I don't agree. They pulled the noose over your eyes and didn't need to hang you. Would you ever date a blink? Is it even dating if you don't consider her species a subspecies of human? Would you ever date a mongoloid? I'd rather die of natural causes. Don't tarnish your legacy by being hateful. You mean speaking up and being honest that the bikes are poisoning my people? Tell Selena to get shot in the head again. Close enough. Yo, I can't believe I didn't even try to fuck. You mean you were a good friend? You didn't want to stick your dick in a taken woman? Fuck, I guess bikes didn't ruin my natural morality. Bring back the Holocaust. Oh, I guess the bike rapper won because he has more bike money in his system designed by bikes to rob from my people. Dude, you didn't even try. There you go. That was our daily unbreaded. No. Okay. You guys may have missed it. It is page 600 here, but on the PDF up here, it's page 601. That's what we're going with because it's random between 800 and 3. I actually have a plan for the title page, and I think there's a blank page or two. There's a plan in there. So this is how the system that we've done the whole time. It's the actual electronic page on the PDF file, not the page on the bottom, or not the number on the bottom of the page. So there you go. All right. Now we're going to wrap up with super chats, go over to Twitch, play a little Elden Ring, something like that. Mandy Karavichus, yes, I did see a little bit of Skid Row, only a little homeless. All right. Radio Ruin says, are you worried people might be lying about their sob stories just to make you drink? Seems like a significant vulnerability. But make me have a sip of whiskey? No, don't stop. If people want to send money and lie about their sob story, that's on them. Doesn't bother me. And I can't know, so I'll just do the heartfelt toast and heartfelt. And that's all I can do. Shut up, I can cook says, welcome home, Nick. Can we talk law and find a trial? Love you guys. Yes. See, so the latest clip that I posted with Eric Rowland was actually talking law. It was merger and acquisition. I mean, there's drama involved in there too, but it's also in relation directly to the Vic case. Because what happened to Funimation, the phasing out of the brand, is something I talked about happening a long time ago. And I think there's probably more to come. I saw a lot of comments of people saying, oh, well, all the same voice actors, all the same employees are there or whatever. But watch for it, because this is the start. They've now phased out the Funimation brand. Crunchyroll CEO took over a while back. We'll see who sticks around. Maybe a lot of people, maybe not some people. And some people might have a free ticket through the end of the lawsuit, and then it might be over after that. Sometimes that happens too. We'll have to see. Lay Stewie says, link for Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Rekieta Law. I think it's in the pinned comment. Dirty Dan says, got an interview for an internship on Wednesday. A prayer for success would be appreciated. Thanks, man. I will, of course, pray for your success. I tend to do those off air, but I will 100% pray for your success. Daniel says, Mars girls smash. Lol, cheers. Disgusting. Jonathan Duger, do you know about the SCOTUS case, Wooden versus US? If not, you should. It's bonkers. Nope, I don't know about it off the top of my head. Shroom Dukem says, glad to hear you're having fun with Elden Ring. I think I read that earlier. Not applicable says, hope they use someone else's credit card to get that. What, the Black Nikka whiskey? Is it an expensive whiskey? It's the wow, it is crazy. Okay, so let me rephrase a little. Earlier I said that would be a good whiskey to start on. Well, that's probably why. It's pretty expensive whiskey. That explains the smoothness quite a bit. Again, thank you guys very much. Arlanius. Oh, you mean the liminal order statement Jack put out to his idiots? Oh, I see. No, I think it was to them. Let's see. Our Aurelianus says the ghost of Kiev, totally real, just flew over my house and airdropped $10 while shooting down half the Russian Air Force. Here you go, brother. Keep up the good work. David A. Hamilton says Jack Murphy is a caricature of Cernovich's conservative caricature of Hunter S. Thompson. Sad as hell, funny as hell too, but sad. Shut Up, I Can Cook says founder turning over in their graves, a republic if you can keep it. Cernovich has always struck me as a little bit strange, but you know, keep on keeping on, man. If people like him, I'm not here to stop anybody, by the way. I'm just saying he's always struck me as a little bit odd. His appearance on the Dick Show was a little bit weird. There's some issues with his story, but that's for other people to deal with. Shut Up, I Can Cook says, welcome home, Nick. Branca chat guy, revive my super chat. Yay. Oh, okay, cool. David A. Hamilton says, also, Democrat to Deplorable was published in 2018. He kept saying 3 years ago, I was a this/that BS. Sean McDonald, Jack Murphy is just like that anti-gay preacher in Utah that was smoking crystals of meth, having relations with men of the night. Contrarian 420, this philosophy 101 nonsense cope has broken my cringe muscles. Tim the Ancient, Jack's statement reminds me of when you write a term paper the night before it's due and have to cite a minimum of 20 sources. Yes. Yes, it does. Uh, 200 Watt Studio, I'm sorry, but Jack's manifesto is no less delusional or unhinged as Matt Harris's manifesto, only in lack of slurs. Aficionado, Jack should have called it the subliminal order. Skyrim, I think it's supposed to be, I think it's a play on consciousness and conscious decision making, purpose. I think that's why he picked liminal. I don't know. Skyrim 96, I don't know. Jack seems to try and I don't know. Jack seems to try and comment the boys often, especially the college ones. Not applicable. Monica can only do the work of a single horse. David Hamilton, did he reject them or recruit them like Matt from Tinder? Josiah Fitch, I wonder if Jack's favorite book is Ulysses. Evan Schultz, of all the names they called him, John Goldman hurt the most. They hate when they are revealed. Clarence Price, the Hindenburg, Titanic, and Chernobyl had better leadership than the Liminal Order. Nice going, Captain Cucktacular. You played yourself and your cult. Russell Hall, get a parrot or a turtle. It'll outlive you. Samurai Knight, just letting you know, Kentaro Miura died, Nick. He is what half of Elden Ring is based off of, by the way, and the song. Figured you forgot, you boomer. I did see I didn't know he died, but I did see that nice, mural, that Field of Swords that is an homage to Kentaro Miura, or, they look like Berserk swords. When did he die, though? Does that mean he's not going to finish Berserk? Mad Evil Genius has just passed my first exam in uni, and I used my home game censorship laws to propose the lawmakers are cognitively incapable of a real thought and have special needs. I love psychology. Bad Weather Biker, if Jack Murphy is comparing himself to Aristotle, then I'm saying Nick Rekieta is a modern day Diogenes. Kevin speaks on it. Jack Murphy is pathological, narcissistic, forgery, SMH. I don't want to be any of those old Greeks. I'm not gay. C. Goody says Geiga is gay. You're a mod. Check. Mate. And when you check, you'll find a penis because you're gay. And that's your mate. Curithan says, so the new voice for Jack is Larry the Cucumber. Makes sense for his new take on life. Very moral, and maybe the cuke is extra ribbed. Lethal Burrito, I received good news earlier today/yesterday. I have a job interview with Sweetwater Music. Nervous to leave Texas to Fort Wayne, Indiana to nerd out on music, which I love nerding out on. Well, good luck, buddy. I hope it works out for you. If it does, let me know. I'll buy something from you, especially if you get commission. David A. Hamilton says, pretty sure he's confusing libertarian with libertine. Avahine, you weren't at Dallas Whiskey Riot Saturday because you're busy being lame in LA. You missed some great whiskeys. Jack Murphy says, I'm a alpha Giga Chad. The John Beck says, is he trying to say libertine? Matt Deckard, mispronunciation is our Grod given right. At Wrecked. Ghost of Recon, the great libertarian conspiracy to take over the world and leave everyone else alone. Javier says, called his Kaik by his name, John Goldman. Matt Deckard says, mispronunciation is our Grod given right. At Wrecked. Jack Murphy says, I know everything about libertarianism and hedonism. Not Heisenberg says, please make a toast to the not nearly soon enough death of Javier the racist. To Javier and his upcoming untimely demise. Untimely because it's not already here, according to Not Heisenberg. Cheers. We need more of those. We need more super chats asking for the toasts of people who should be dead in the chat. Bonus points if it's a mod. Goes to just kidding. Just kidding. That might go a little too far. Goes to Recon says, Jack Murphy, it's all because of those dang libertarians. Colin Shaw Indie Games says, just remember 3 years ago is 1 year before COVID stopped the world. Arthur Cady, he has an ex-wife and kids. Isn't it a little late? Jack Murphy says, I will teach you how to be a real man, Nick. Wrestler Town, comparing Rogan, Saul, and Jack Murphy is so funny that only super lib PR firm aiming for a conservative audience could have ever come up with it. Yeah, I was saying this. I think I was telling Dick. I don't know if I said it live on air. I might have, though. It sure looks like some loyal member of the Liminal Order has had a marketing firm since 1996. Or PR firm or whatever. And it's like, oh, Jack, we'll help you. That's how his entire comeback has looked. Oh, I found God. I'm owning up to my mistakes. Here's my apology 7-page letter in which I talk about how I'm basically Aristotle, Joe Rogan, Jesus Christ, and Paul the Apostle combined. But my mistakes got exposed by haters. Hater. And if it weren't for the haters, the good work would have continued. Linux Charm says, I hope you know you're more breaded than Jack for your freaking lisp reading this statement. I knew it would be annoying, but you had to carry the bit. You got to go all in. Just like Jack's dildo. Jack Murphy says, I'm not an idiot. Wolfgang Deo says, Jesus died for our sins so that we were able to be made perfect once more despite our continuous failing for temptations and repenting, a redeemer. Jack Murphy says, who's Ron? Crimsonier says, you're wrong about Jack. He was in a sphere before he wrote Dem to Deplorable, but only when his girlfriend rolled him up to give him a job on the Outer Rim. 0 Hour Discussions with JM Cruz says, you and Drex should react to Ripa's debates, Nick. I don't know when Drex is going to be out next, so that's kind of tough. Not Applicable says, I feel like I've been dragged through a gay bar. No One Nowhere says, the cuck is running a literal confidence scheme. Backcoat, Stephen Hawking says, a boom shakalaka. Noob Nut 08 says, in reply to your Mustang metaphor, it's more like alcoholism. Once a recovering alcoholic, always a recovering alcoholic. Andy Leary says, what's wrong with ladyboys? Nothing. The only problem is you, if you sex them. The dude says, damn, you sounded like Jack Goldman in that interview with the sex podcaster. That was priceless. Great lispy queer impersonation. Kevin Speaks on it, says, not what impersonation? That's just my normal voice. This is the impersonation. Kevin Speaks on it, says, not one time did he say he put his faith in Jesus Christ. An entire story with sales, mixing liberation with far left liberals. His biblical knowledge is zero. Andrew Clark, Order is addressing phones and cameras in the courtroom, but not rebroadcast from the media pool, maybe. Point is to prevent additional video angles. Yeah, the Order was just saying, look, there's only going to be 3 cameras. You guys need to work it out because the court isn't dealing with it. That's all it said. There's only going to be 3 cameras. No, don't send more petitions. You're encouraged to work it out. Does not say they have to. Doesn't say, like, that's all it said. See Goody says, since Nick is breaded and won't show you, here's the glorious work of art from Mandy. Oh, God, I'm supposed to show this. I should show it tomorrow probably because I'm. Here we go. This was on topic. I forgot. This is from Mandy. She drew a picture of someone here. I'm not sure what. So if you have subscribers and I have subscribers, and if I have super chats, my straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your subscribers. I drink your super chats. I drink them up, you fucking dummy. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Mandy. Oh, Mandy, you came and you dropped an injured link. Crusader Saracen says in a thick Arab accent, please say, you work for long crime. Please. My shoe commands more respect than you. Allah Akbar. Christopher Nicholson says, don't ever back down. Richard Meyer, Vic Mignogna, Nick Rekieta. Jivy the Magic Elf, an extra donation for being the asshole that Long Crime doesn't want to F with. Thank you. Shit. Royalty Rogue. Oh, shit. No, I read that one. Royalty Rogue says, my fiance recently bought a car with Carvana. It's been 6 months and she hasn't gotten her registration for her plates. What type of lawyer is needed? I have no idea. I don't know who's responsible for that. Is it the car owner? Is it the DMV? I don't know the process, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. You send an email to me with the process, I might be able to help you, and preferably the state. Dennis Pettit, RE Media Pool costs. How do amateur rocket enthusiasts, a la Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, rate press credentials at SpaceX launches and events? I have no idea. I have no idea how that works. But I think that's probably different than the court, right? Wolfgang Deo says, don't you dare leave us without our daily unbreaded. Jason J, since you addressed my comment from a regular chat, have a super berry. Oh, I can do it. Did high-level corporate sales for a decade. I know how to BS. Cynthia says, Tats and Mandy / C Goody Babies aside, consider contacting Dan Abrams. Seriously, he's building a platform and you have the views. I'm sure he'd take your call. Work it out. Why do I have to contact him? I don't have a desire to be part of the Long Crime Network. If they have a desire to have me as part of their network, they can call me. I don't think they do. But I don't have any, what the fuck desire would I have to be in their network? I build my own brand. I don't want anybody telling me what I can and can't say. And that would be the condition of any brand that I joined. You can't tell me what to do because I'm a piece of shit who won't listen. Nick Martinez says, hey, Mr. Rekieta, thank you for all the laughs and the unbreadeds you've given. Don't ever change. Christopher Nicholson, my peers just voted, I think unanimously, to promote me to assistant professor today. Uh-oh. Oh, you've got power now. Be careful. C. Goody says, FYI, I'm keeping track of the pages now. You're welcome, big nose bigot. Not applicable says, oh man, I've been saying that about footrests for years. And he says, this is the page I've agreed with the most so far, to be honest. Margot Rana says, any plans for further coverage of the Dr. William Husel trial? The defense opening brought some amazing evidence to light. Would hate to see him convicted. Kind of. I've been getting some reports about it from people who are watching and interested. And there's some, there's some of the coverage sounds really slow, like Curtis Reeves. Lots of sidebars that are silent. So I'm not sure. Actual Boomer says, I think white girls have pretty noses is my new axiom. Not applicable. I love how it takes one gay guy to ruin an idiom. Mandy Karavich says, your next character should be Ethan Ralph. I don't think you can make him fat enough. Your mental illness. Last super chat for a while. Lost my job over the weekend. Fuck. No explanation, but they gave me an extra $500 on my last check. Hated the job. I got comfortable. They did me a favor. Well, Here's hoping you recover quickly and get something new. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Trucking Bear says, speaking of expensive whiskey, Louisville Metro Habitat for Humanity is running a fundraiser raffle, and the grand prize is 6 bottles of Pappy. Damn. Alex Coates thinks, says, hey, your video had me doing a double take. Good show. Bada Beer says, is Jack helping or just trying to groom more tight college boys? Gross. Alex Code Thing says, oh yeah, great news. Angry Superior Court judge ordered AG to trial August 8th. Woots? Good. Wolfgang Deo says, Russia. Did you mean to say East Ukraine? Shut Up I Can Cook says, Mrs. Nick, please take care of Nick. Thanks. Mrs. Nick is great. Lady Rackets is wonderful. Wolfgang Deo says, say my name again. And then sent some fucking Russian runes that I don't understand. I thought of the other thing. The other trial sort of court thing that is happening today or yesterday, as it were. Netflix is suing the state of Texas a Texas prosecutor in federal court for trying to bring criminal charges via a grand jury against Netflix for the production of Cuties as the dissemination of obscene material in regards to children. A grand jury indictment was returned back in 2020 about the release of Cuties in Texas. He has brought 5 criminal indictments against Netflix. And Netflix is very, very mad at him. And so they have asked a federal court to intervene. So I've been watching that stuff. I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be on the show or on a short, like a video on demand, normal video or live stream. Depends on when I get around to live streaming. I've got a water guy coming to my house tomorrow. A water guy's coming to my house tomorrow. I don't know when that's going to be because they never can give any fucking specifics, but Wolfgang Deo says, Putin take America. Nick said it, not me. There you go. And then a couple more chats here from Odyssey. Gonzo says, only a breaded ass beta wishes to be called a beta breaded ass bitch. Malik Foxton says, me starting up Elden Ring for the first time. Fuck, dude. Why are they all invisible? What the fuck? I'm having fun, though. Jay Winkler says, then I want you to toast to Fauci's future, passing hopefully sooner rather than later. To Fauci, an aged man, a public servant who only had the best interests of the people at his heart, who is also the science. Rest in peace, Anthony Fauci, Dr. Supreme Emeritus Commander Dr. Fauci. May God take him wherever he deserves to go. Jack Murphy says, I've decided I'm coming out as a homosexual. Will you be my mutual, Nick? No, I will not do it. Rumble username sucks says, can tell that's good whiskey because Nick's jokes are getting a bit overdone. Still funny, though. LT Hobbit, what would you say to someone who has no purpose for over 5 years, is content with what they've done in life, and just wants to rest in peace? There's always more to do. Don't be content with what you've done. That's it. That's what I'll say to you. If you're content with what you've done, it must have been worth something, and therefore that value can be carried into something new. So do something new and stop being a bitch. Wolfgang Deo says, if sanctions worked, why is Russia threatening an embargo of their oil? And with that, that's the end of the show. All right, guys. Cynthia, you're actually incorrect in your numbers, but thank you. Thank you for the input, but you should go ahead and look at the actual numbers. And also look at how growth, again, you got to look at how growth on social media works. I'm a person who does this every day. I also am not really interested in numbers if those numbers involve compromise to who I am or what show I do. I've walked that path. People who have been on this channel have seen that chasing the numbers thing never works out. It's always fucking awful. JC, the Music Man. Law and Crime sued Court TV in New York in 3/17/21 because Court TV claimed they were the only court network. Law and Crime complaint states it is misleading and against the interests of the public. Yep, and Court TV settled that with Law and Crime. Cynthia, just make the call, stubborn point. No, I don't. Again, I have no desire to contact Dan Abrams or to be part of the Law and Crime Network. Especially not after this bullshit. Why would I call them? What value would I get from them? No thanks. You're talking to a guy whose entire life is focused around not being beholden to literally anybody. So adding another layer of beholdenness, like, hello, Dan Abrams. I was hoping to really join your net. Fuck off. Like, why would I do that? That's the gayest thing I've ever heard of. Good Lord. Okay. Time to wrap up the show. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. If I can do a live stream during the day tomorrow, I will. I don't know if that's going to happen. Otherwise, there will be some short videos, at least one, but probably more coming out tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about. And until then, we'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitter and Erlang. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an ardbeg, a bow, more of that brook. The spirits blow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have